I'll stream it. I'm just recording it now. Never mind.
And this is a 3-threat game. As we cut to the bridge of the U.S.S. Achilles, freshly repaired and with a newly vetted crew at great pains by Captain Pend and the Admiralty staff, who are being very careful that nothing else happens to the Achilles or any other ship leaving in Orange right now. Commander Throlic having assisted, I forgot precisely what Throlic was assisting in some other matter elsewhere. I can't precisely remember what at the moment. And Counselor Isa has spoken with Starfleet Medical at length about her findings and activities in the last while aboard the Achilles. And they're keeping an eye on her. They've given her a administrative slap on the wrist, but otherwise she is free to continue her activities for the time being, although they will be keeping a close eye on her future reports on her crew. But with all checks and regulations met, the Achilles is given the communique that it is allowed to leave dock. Three of you are on the bridge with some newer crew aboard and some of your original crew. You are without breaches, and you know roughly where the wildfire has gone.
Commander, Lieutenant, have we received any updates from the wildfire recently before we set off?
I don't know, GM, have we received any updates?
Not at this time.
Nothing as of yet, Captain.
Well, at least this time they knew what they were walking into, so hopefully we can offer them aid and get it dealt with sooner rather than later. I'm just worried the little reprobates we've left with them might have caused trouble.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that too much, Captain. You know, we may be a little bit of an odd crew, but we get the job done.
Oh, that's one word for it. That's not the word I've been hearing a lot from the Admiralty about us. So, I'll take odd.
Well, odd would be my official clinical position, so I think that holds more weight.
I'll take
We're
it.
Clinically odd, Counselor?
I believe that is what the humans call a joke.
Hey, I'm not odd,
right.
I'm just neurodivergent.
I mean, I thought I was the only one here who was as sharp as a marble, but okay. But,
I mean, in Andor, they're pretty sharp because they have to dig in a little bit.
I'm just worried about the smooth ones. Lieutenant, go through procedures of undocking and let's get underway.
Undocking the ship, bringing us about to the last coordinates we have. What warp, sir?
Let's go at standard cruise for now. Like I said, they knew what they were going into, so hopefully they shouldn't have hit a mine with their face like we did.
Setting normal cruise, warp 8. And the stars streak across the view screen, and you feel the slightest movement under your feet as the ship accelerates and goes to warp. At speed of warp 8, you have an estimated time of arrival of about 2 days.
Yeah, that's fine. I've not heard an emergency distress, so there's no need to rush.
Stay to green alert.
For now, once we get within a couple of light years or within a certain amount of distance, we can switch to yellow just as a precaution.
Aye, sir.
Unless there's anything specifically I'm needed here to do, as in give people disapproving looks. I'm relatively good at that. If not, we can all go about our business.
Aye, Captain.
Of course, Captain.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the bridge.
Where's Penn head off to?
It'll probably go to one of the diplomatic suites. Probably get some paperwork done with Jaishu.
Well, that's what we call it now.
I mean, we can call it something else if you want.
You're screaming, so no. But yeah, Captain leaves the bridge. What do Thralic and Asa do?
I mean, Trolloc is command officer, so she's going to take center chair and just continue business as normal. Still need to have somebody in the captain's chair.
No.
Great. Yeah, if I don't have any medical work to do, then I guess I'll head down and do what I normally do on my off time. I'll cook some.
Cook something, you say?
Mhm.
Off you go. Yeah.
Is that leaf icon the cooking symbol?
It's what I'm using for. I forget what it's actually called. Hold on. Curious. It is 3 leaves. So I think, hey, it works.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was a leaf for like a campfire.
Yeah. Pend, how about you give me some control or reason plus command, difficulty of 2, assisted by computers plus command, to kind of go over the general day-to-day stuff you'd need to worry about aboard a ship. And you can pull your fuming fiance in to aid you.
Sure, why not? That'll be fun. Have someone yell at me for no specific reason whatsoever, but it's just regular life.
It's not like she has to redo the entire marriage process again. It took almost a year to get set up and then have to explain to everyone why they're doing it.
Yeah, that can't be difficult in the slightest.
Nope. Whole years of wedding prep just gone. That wouldn't tick you off at all.
Focusing composure.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Secondary, I'm composed. I've got an slightly more than annoyed Orion sat next to me.
Like, normally that's a good thing, but, you know, she's not mad with you, she's mad at you, so it's different.
Again, I'm not seeing the difference between that and any other woman in my life. I'll give you a threat. Roll bold. The ship is... Just had to go find Jaishu.
Nope.
Starfleet protocols? No.
I'd take it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gain another. Checking over your logs, over the paperwork, you do notice that you did have quite a shift of people. There's a lot of people who basically transferred off just because the change, they basically had to rebuild their lives, and so, and there's a couple that Ace had probably had to flag. They're like, you know what, take a sabbatical, take 6 months, take a year, however long you need, just deal with your affairs. You can't deal with this and that at the same time, sort of thing. The new people coming in, the reams and reams of Starfleet intelligence stuff that's going over, in which a lot of it you've already read. It's just a matter of, okay, yes, Narendra Station has that information, but now you need to write that all again in Narendra's and the Achilles books to make sure it checks with your computer so it isn't mixed up, especially since you're so close to Narendra. If you're gonna check that, you might as well double check it while you're like really close. It all checks out. Everything seems fine. It helps that you worked on it. You do see there is some news out of the reports. You do see that there's news that the Klingon Empire is getting a lot more surprisingly insular. Something's going on back on Kronos. The diplomats aren't entirely sure, but they can tell it's some sort of power struggle between different factions of the High Council. So a lot of they're not sure if this is the prelude to another civil war or if there's actually like a governmental shift of some kind. But there's no even the raids into Romulan space are still kind of ongoing, which Starfleet officially does not approve of such actions, but they never would. What else would you have noticed looking over stuff? The other groups within the Shackleton fleet operations are they're having interesting times, as you can see from their log entries. But no one has the proverbial sword of Damocles hanging over them or anything. They're just pressing on and trying to stabilize their issues as they encounter them, like any Starfleet ship, really. Because anytime you go somewhere new, you're either going to run into something very boring, very neat, or very dangerous. Sometimes a combination of the three, but
Yeah, that's what we call a fun mission.
Oh, it's very, very boring. We're just counting these beans as a part of a cultural exchange thing, and now we're fighting to the death. I don't know how that transition happened, but apparently blue beans are very important to this culture, and we just broke a law. It's a long story. Read the log,
I know there's probably going to be a no from this question. Is there anything tangentially related to Tripolity?
Nothing. No one's encountered them since the fall of the Shangri-La. The Avalon crew hasn't run into them since they've been bopping about. Interior groups basically been wrapped up with this whole minefield thing because it basically took you guys out of action for a bit. So you're all three of you plus the Pinnacle thing. So interior group doesn't know anything. Klingons are way too House of Gita is way too involved in whatever's going on back home. The Bowman group hasn't encountered them, and although you're hearing, it's not coming straight from the Bowman, but there is some buzz among. It's not in the official papers, but you remember it from your time with intelligence. There was some buzz that there was a spike or a projected spike of Orion smuggling in the Shackleton. Whether it's like a couple free traders bopping around trying to sell counterfeit self-sealing stem bolts or like arms dealing, the gaps, there's just not information to kind of hammer that, or full on like a pirate operation. So that's not really known yet, which that's been flagged as possible Tripolity thing because the biggest thing the Tripolity would have is getting supplies and trading, and they can't really trade with the Alpha and Beta Quadrant powers without tipping off where they are. If anyone knows about them, it might be the Romulans, but they're not saying anything because there's no real fruitful diplomatic exchange between the Romulan Empire in its civil war and the United Federation of Planets.
Fair
But there's a lot
point,
of guessing. That the Admiralty intelligence is keeping an eye out. They do theorize they might be involved with some other power. Maybe not the same. Unlikely to be these Aldemona you spoke of in your reality, but maybe some other power. But they're not sure. They don't have any intel because wherever they are, they've gone deep into the Shackleton.
Okay, well, so that's just something I'm keeping on the back burner to work on. But if there's nothing really to take from that, that's fine. I'm happy to just get this paperwork done and out the way.
Thralic.
Yes.
Give me insight plus command or God, I lost what the word is. Security. Difficulty of 2. As you have some time to sit there in the chair and read over stuff. You just have this feeling in the back of your mind, just enough to make your antennae twitch. It's just on the tip. It's just there, and you're not sure what it is.
Focus in observation.
I'd say no, unfortunately.
Team dynamics.
I'd take that, yeah.
Right. And let's see. I'll spend 1 momentum to buy a 3rd die. And hold on. Wow. That's. I don't think I actually have a reroll there unless I want to spend my information. Yeah, I do not have a reroll.
Oh yeah, it's whatever that feeling is. You're not sure what it is. You're just not sure. You get this. It feels like you don't know. And then someone passes you something to sign or asks you about scanning this, that, or the other, or communicate from such and such. What do you want to say? You know, the standard stuff a Starfleet ship does as they're starting to move away from Federation space.
Right.
So you kind of have other things come up.
I'll refocus on making sure the ship's running as smoothly as possible.
And with no complications, you manage to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna get like needlessly distracted and like forget to do something. Nah, I don't do that later. You're sure? We kind of need to clean the manifolds. Not right now. All right. Isa.
Hello.
Hello.
I also have an idea in addition to cooking.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. So you said a lot of people have been transferring off ship because of their, they need to get their affairs in order from the dimensional shift. And a lot of people were transferring onto the ship to fill those gaps.
Yeah.
I would like to, as I'm cooking, scroll through all of the different crew reports for all of these new people, especially on the medical department, but in general, and see if I think anyone could be, not that I think this is likely, but because I think this is possible, could be like some sort of Starfleet intelligence mole to monitor us.
Insight or reason. You do have law sitting in front of you. Plus security. Opposed.
Right? Security. Okay. Okay, if I am especially looking through medical reports to see if anyone has like the psychological profile of a secret agent, could I try to swing you for psychiatry?
You could, yeah. You're applying it in a security sense, but that field is going to help. It's actually a very popular field for intelligence officers. But anyway.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, I'm in the wrong career then. All right. Okay.
You just have to like dark rooms and bright lights. Anyway,
Oh no. Okay. I'm going to say one threat, two momentum, and roll 4 dice.
all right.
Dad?
You got 2 over on me. Gain 2
Okay.
momentum. You notice that there are some people with a rather interesting psychological profile that may predispose them to be especially guarded, or they seem too clean, or well, not like just dirty enough to be real, but a little too textbook, not quite what you think. Because people are, especially in the United Federation of Planets, people are infinite diversity and infinite combination. There's a lot of people with a lot of different issues. And some of them are issues they're supposed to have. See Vulcans, for one. Out of all of them, though, the ones that pop are actually people who are in the security division. And you see that one of them just that they really, when you look into it a bit more, it's like, oh, they're of this very little known species that psychological profile makes sense. Okay, and now you learn something about a particular sport you didn't know about, but hey, okay, that explains the injury. All right, next person.
Yeah, this person has a sealed record on their file, but they have the same last name as an admiral. I think I know why. I think we can cross them off the list, that sort of thing.
Yeah, 3 of them are people who you would estimate would be great fits in intelligence. They have the profile. They have the right profile for it, which a lot of security officers do. But as far as you can tell, they don't seem to be acting in a weird way or anything like that. They're probably just security officers who are very investigative, analytical, improvisational. But they're too junior. They're either too junior to be experienced enough, or so experienced that really people would know who they are. So it's not really worth it for them to become an agent. One of them actually is a Starfleet intelligence officer, but they're one of the people who would be like doing intelligence analysis for the ship. Like they'd be processing stuff and giving it off to Penn. So he's like, there's one guy who is like he's security, but he's intelligence division. But no one who seems to be hiding them.
Yeah. The bean counters and analytics probably aren't also the moles, because that's too obvious. Okay.
And actually, there were to a certain degree on the success, you also get the feeling that it feels like intelligence was making it not necessarily for you, but for anyone who was checking if the Achilles had agents aboard. They kind of gave this cover, so in case they did need to slip someone aboard, they had a shield to kind of give them some space. Where it's like, okay, it's not just one suspicious person. There's like several. Pick which one's the real agent. As opposed to one person with a perfectly clean record. It's like, okay, they're gonna stand out like a sore thumb. The guy who's in Dark Shadows and reads lots of Le Carre novels. Oh, that's just a wannabe. Never mind.
So there's no one who I can put a reasonable amount of suspicion on.
No, but if intelligence were ever to ask you, or if someone on the ship was like, "Hey, is anyone who's good at intelligence?" You know of at least 3 people off the top of your head now.
Yeah, I just want to double check to make sure is there anyone reporting on snitching on us behind our back. And as far as I can tell, if there is, they're so well hidden I'm not going to find them.
Yeah. And as your peaceful journey continues, new scene.
Like I said, we can't find the people snitching. Penn just assumes there's someone snitching on him. He's like, I don't fucking care.
You always have a captain always has someone snitching on. the XO.
Yeah, I don't care. Snitch on me.
That's their job. Part of their job, but you know. Where's the thing I'm looking for? I really need to organize this better. There it is. Boop. Meanwhile, we cut back to the wildfire a few days ago as it was being rapidly approached by a wing of fighters. At that moment, I believe Tavera and Rylon and Arlen were aboard the derelict and empty ship.
Mhm. Do we even know that the fighters are approaching?
Yep. The last thing that happened when we cut away was that the wildfire called the away team and said, "Captain, there's we see contacts. It looks like fighters heading our way. Whole wings of them, whole squadrons, I should say. Sorry."
There's no use in dying for a derelict and empty, decades-old Klingon ship. All hands return to the wildfire, and I will order the not beaming officer, the transporter chief, that's their name, to beam us to the bridge.
Okay. Control plus engineering difficulty. You're not on a pad. You're not going to a pad. He's in the transporter room. Control plus engineering difficulty 3, assisted by sensors engineering. I believe Satal is perpetually active, so he's being activated again.
Sure, I'll grab him.
You don't
Thank you.
have to. You could just the captain could try to override it, make a diff 4. Here's what you do.
Take a threat.
I'm captain of the wildfire, so I will roll for the wildfire.
I assume a focus in transporters.
Yep.
Yeah, so take a threat for bold, please.
Taking threat eye. Oh, I know what I forgot to write down. Oh, you did roll the ship. Sorry, I was waiting on it for some reason. I didn't see it was right there. Yep. So you're all beamed over to the bridge.
Yeah. As soon as we're out of here, I'm going to say we are in like a not a nebula, but like an area of tricky stellar navigation, right?
Yeah, the entire Shackleton's
Okay.
like that.
I am
Some worse
going
than
to,
others.
yeah, I'm going to say, all right, yeah, I'll commit to it. I'll say activate slim sensor silhouette and warp to Narendra station. Try to lose them in the nebula. We can avoid the fight. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we are in combat timing, so.
Oh, we are. Okay, I didn't know about that. I thought they were farther away. Are they like right on us?
They're going to appear at the bottom of the round, so you have some time before they get here, but when you do things matters.
Okay. That I think changes my answer. I will let people state what they think they want, but if they're that close, then I think our best option is to raise shields and just try to survive a fight with them.
It's a wing
Well,
of fighters, right?
Small craft is all that Sensor saw because they're way out there. And Ven seems to be furiously trying to figure out what he's seeing because the sensors aren't making head or tails of what's out there. He just knows they're all scale 1. Maybe a
Okay.
couple scale 2s in there, but they're too far away to tell. They'd have to be closer.
Do we know the number of them?
You'd guess maybe about 6, roughly. Maybe a little more, a little less. Again, it's hard to tell because part of the reason that wings kind of hang together a bit is it kind of screws up their energy signature at long distance.
Mm-hmm.
On the upside, it makes them easier to see in the same breath. It's like, well, you're a big old squadron of energy signatures at high warp. Where I'm gonna see you, and you know they're coming from Gre'thor Station. They come from the direction of Gre'thor Station, rather.
All right, I am changing my answer yet again. How about Arlen, on your turn, you can activate the slim sensor silhouette, and then can we even do a stealth roll for them to hide from them in combat? Is that like a possibility for us?
You can try because if you can activate this silhouette, and then you would need to hide your ship somewhere other than where it is because you're sitting right next to a big old ship, so you're kind of there. So you have to find somewhere to break line. It's some thicker part of the cloud to break line of sight, so they can't see the ship. Like just visual range, just see a big old saucer hanging out in the clouds.
All right. So in that case, then, if I already spent my turn to activate the engineer to roll to beam, then maybe on Rylov's turn we can activate a con officer to do the same to stealthless.
Well, I'll point out that you do have this is an NPC ship. It does have its scale in actions on its own.
Okay.
So it has
okay.
4
So
turns of just.
Okay, so then we have plenty of time to like warp away and then hide.
Yeah, I was just letting you know there's a combat timing because like you'll have to because depending on how the rolls turn out, it'll screw you up. And it's like, oh, that didn't go the way I wanted. Hold on, don't warp yet.
All right. Okay. How much power do we have? I'm sorry. I'm changing my answer again. Then we have plenty of power. All right. Arlen, I want you to activate the slim sensor silhouette, and then we are warping out of here.
I would recommend if we have the time to put a tracking device on that ship. If they recover it, then we will be able to see it if they send it out again.
Very well, Lieutenant Arlen, or Lieutenant Rylov. If you can get a transponder onto that ship, by all means.
It will be done.
At the moment, Arlen is BRB. So.
Well.
Okay. Yes.
No, I'm back.
Oh, you're
Sorry.
back. Hooray.
Okay.
Yes. So. Did you hear the order?
Slim sensor or silhouette.
Yup. Yup.
So first we're gonna redline the engines. No.
We're hiding and running from the Klingons incoming.
All right.
But in theory, if I redline and the engines, can we use the bonus momentum to create an advantage on the slim sensor or silhouette?
What?
It would actually be struck. Hold on. I would treat it as a redlining structure if you wanted to modify the silhouette.
Am I any better now?
You're very faint.
Yep.
What's your action, Arlen?
We have some momentum, so I can swift task. Yeah, I'm gonna redline the structure or to class 2.
So you need daring engineering difficulty 2.
Okay. Tinkering as a focus.
Yeah.
All right. Reckless trait.
I'll say it helps. Brings it down diff by 1. Because you didn't ask the
Okay.
captain, you just kind of did it. You're gonna get dinged later, but reputation-wise. But being reckless right now, you're rolling into into your personality.
I'm rolling into my personality. Limit pusher or fast thinker. Traits.
I'll take limit pusher, sure. So diff 0 then.
All right. Take a threat, and we'll just roll this for momentum.
How about now?
More audible.
Do you want me to turn it up more, or am I good?
You're good for me. You're now in a range I can manage your volume up manually on my end. You were very low earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 momentum generated. So you've redlined the structural integrity fields of the ship to class 2.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna spend and the 2 float I generated to swift task.
2 flow. Oh, Penn, did you take his? Sorry,
I think I took
Yeah, it's
1.
diff 0.
Oh, it was a diff 0. I thought it was a diff 2.
He brought it down to 0.
Oh, okay. So it feels
My traits.
And then he spends
You can
2
yell
to
at
do
me
swift
later.
task.
Yep.
All right. So you owe me 50 pounds sterling. No. That's the wrong sheet. Try again. Wildfire, where are you? There you are. It is a control plus engineering difficulty of 2.
And comp 2, because
You're you're messing with the structural integrity. Even though the ship doesn't
Yep.
roll to help, that is what's being redlined.
okay. Limit pusher or fast thinker.
I'll take fast thinker because you're doing this on a swift.
Okay. Reckless trait.
You do not want to recklessly cloak. I'll up your comp range.
So total comp 3.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, no, it's plus 2. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, no, it's always comp 1. So you added 3, so it's comp 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Total. Because you always roll comp on a 20.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because I wanted plus 2 so I can get the bonus 2 momentum plus... Okay. So
Yep.
we're all on the same page.
Yep.
Okay, that's my traits. And the red line's being applied. Let's do... all right, it's only diff 1. 1 unthreat for the 3rd dice.
1 threat eye.
And tinkering focus or Starfleet protocols focus.
What was the first focus again?
Tinkering.
I would say no to both, unfortunately.
EPS systems.
Yeah, I would take that. Yep.
Over. All right. And this is why we have bold.
2 momentum generated, and you have 2 free float on top of it.
All right, so I have 4 float. Can we spend that to increase the difficulty to sense us by 2?
I would say no, because then you're talking about a proper cloaking system. You still give off
Okay.
heat.
How about one of them? Could we throw a sensor ghost to the side so we can distract them, so they go left while we go right?
Well, basically, what running silent does is you're basically making everything run on as little power as possible, and you're trying to make yourself like a hole in space, without
Okay.
literally freezing yourself to death. It's a very passive thing. That's why it doesn't count as a cloak, because because you're still visible. Like if someone looked out the window and looked for you, they'd see you. It's just making it hard to see you on sensors. Because you seem like a much smaller target than what they're looking for. Like you look like probably like a scale 2 or scale 1 craft. Like you look like a small craft, not a proper cruiser.
Could we bring that power signature down enough that we don't even look like a craft? Or
I will
would you
take
be
2.
mis-
I would take 2 momentum for that.
Okay.
And yeah, so that will change how they react if they do ping you. They might be thrown off a bit.
All right, and then can I use the other 2? Could I store some extra power in the battery so that way if we have to go out of Slim Sensor's silhouette, we can kind of like get out of it faster and boost our power levels back up to normal, or something?
I'll
to
take that.
effect?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. You kind of tell some engineer somewhere to kind of throw that to a backup battery and just like don't store the battery, just hang out there near that conduit and then plug it back in if we need to. Like don't go anywhere. But yeah, you have the blue light. I assume red alert has been called. Is that a correct assumption, Captain?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so red alert. You see the red lights blinking because that would have been called because hostiles are coming, and then it goes red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, indicating that you're in a weird power state because and everything dims. Who's next? Or what's the next move?
All right, Rylov, if you want to beam or shoot or do whatever to get a tracker on that ship, now's the time.
Presumably not shooting a tracker onto it.
Well, I was thinking you could maybe like put a tracker on like a sensor probe and then stick it to the hull, but that's probably too obvious.
Oh, that's way too obvious. I'm a Romulan.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most logical answer, but
okay.
Low-key.
So, the thing is that I'm on the bridge nowhere near the whatchamacallits, so just gonna essentially move over to a panel where I can contact the right people and be like, okay, and essentially enter in the details for a tracking device that can be replicated by someone down closer to transporter bay to put on the pad.
Say that again. Sorry, I was distracted.
I'm just going to enter the replication details of a tracking device, which can be replicated by someone that's far closer to transporter bay or the transporters. Because I would have to run down there to do it myself, so I need to daisy chain it.
You could tell the computer at such and such replicator replicate this. Like, don't replicate it here where I am. Replicate it at this other replicator.
Okay.
That would cost you 1 momentum because opportunity.
Yeah.
So a tracker kind of appears where Satal is, much to his confusion.
Great.
Like, I didn't do that. What happened? Oh, it's Lieutenant Rylov. All right. Someone will fill me in probably. I hope. Or I'm about to call security in a moment.
I need that moved to the transporter pad so I can transport that to the hostile vessel.
That will require shields to be brought down, sir.
Shields are already down. We are in Slim Sensor silhouette.
Oh, Slim takes out your shields. Does
Yes.
It? Ew,
You
the
cannot
GM
have
screwed
shields
that
up and that. No, you hit us with shields down before because we were on Slim Sensor, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh yeah, shields are deactivated. That's 100% how that works. I know how this game works.
Yeah, because it's kind of counterproductive to lessen your heat signature while also having a big heat signature around you.
Look, there's no ship inside that shield bubble the size of a scale 4 crab.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know, Chief. I don't know. Probably just a space whale or something. I don't know. Anyway, so yes, you can essentially override the beam, like the
Yeah.
is what you're doing essentially. So control plus engineering difficulty. It's Satal can reasonably move it to the pad. That's not terrible. Or hell, you could just say, "Hey, replicate it on the transporter pad." Because transporter pad is essentially a replicator.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, so replicated on the pad. It's like, don't worry about it, Satal. This is.
It's on a pad. It's not going to a pad.
No.
You're not in the transporter room at the moment. He is, but he can assist technically. But
Yeah.
but it would eat someone's action. The minimum difficulty is 3 to beam it somewhere on the ship. If you want to hide it, you'll have to up the if you want to hide it any further than that, you'll have to increase the difficulty. You'd have to call the difficulty you're shooting for beyond 3, but it can't be any lower than 3 because 3 is just getting it on the ships anywhere.
Yeah. So, well, are you saying I'd have to call the difficulty and the 3 gets added to it, or is that just in total call the difficulty?
3 is the minimum, so any
Okay.
3 or higher. You can't call 2 because it's not. They wouldn't be. It would just evaporate in space. It's like, and I beamed it onto the outside of the hull. Well, okay.
I mean, can also be useful.
Just to say, Rylov,
Yes.
would it be worth just letting Satal know what you want to happen, and if you want, I can take Satal's action in a second and just do it?
I mean, Rylo's not a bad engineer.
No, I'm not saying that. It's just he's it's literally his speciality. So I could up the.
Yes,
I
but
could
I'm doing
up the-
sneaky Romulan shit.
All right, I'll still assist. You know,
I
just-
appreciate the offer. Yeah. I don't think I'll need an assist. I'm going to go for a 4. Yeah, we'll go for the 4. I am paranoid.
Comp increase.
Yeah.
See, that's why
Defector.
Ralph doesn't want to help. Doesn't want help
Yeah.
with this. Like, I don't know, Chief. I should
And-
probably do this.
Going to go with Defector on the basis of if they're looking for a tracker, they're looking for something planted by the Federation, not by a Romulan.
I would actually go the other way. That it's I was thinking the minute you said it. It's you're beaming it onto a D7,
Yes.
and you'd be more familiar with D7s in like training than most
Also
Starfleet
that,
people
yes.
will be. It's like you actually get to walk on or walk around on them.
There's a couple of directions for Defector, honestly.
Diff or comp.
We'll go Diff.
So diff goes around 3.
And I'm going to assume guerrilla tactics focus would apply for. We're not seizing the vessel, we're tracking it for later. So we know where it is.
I would say no. This is a rather elaborate thing you're doing.
Tragic.
The gorilla thing to do would be leave a bomb on the thing and go ahead, pick it up. Take all
Well,
of it.
it's
Or you
more-
planted it yourself and hit it somewhere personally, but you're using like a very advanced transporter beam from a advanced slim silhouette system.
Well, that would be evil if, like, you rigged their warp drive to, like, if you activate this, if this ship moves, it blows up. We're,
You
we're
mean,
coming
like-
back for this.
You mean like what they did?
Uh,
They did that
GM,
to us in the first place.
would you
They
take?
were gonna blow up the warp core. They were just gonna shred everyone who's in the engineering bay. It's completely different.
It was in the warp car.
Would you take guerrilla warfare if you beam the tracker over in the shape of a gorilla?
No, it's a guerrilla
Well,
tactics, which is the implementation of them rather than the.
Same difference for the joke, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a gorilla's tactics would involve beaming things.
No, well, I mean, yes, it would mean beaming things, just a different sense of the word beaming.
Yeah, get them on a horn
Lol.
and flash your teeth at them, beat your chest, and they'll go away.
All right.
Why are you beating your chest? It'll scare them. They can't hear you. It's space. Put me on the view screen. Sorry, I'm good now. What are you doing, Ryle?
We'll give you. This is control engineering, right?
Y'all. Oh, so it's engineering to help because the ship helps. Duh.
Yeah. We'll give you 3 momentum and 2 threat. That doesn't add up. Head, where are you going?
One
it does
and
add up
two?
if I do the thing I was thinking about doing. Never mind. I had it
Yeah.
right.
I presume
does a
Dave.
mission directive apply here?
Yeah. Because you're trying
I
to prevent future things from happening here.
Yeah, it was more by knowing where the ship is, it prevents us being attacked in the future, and also means if they lay more minefields, we know where they're putting.
Yeah.
That's why that spend made sense. I'm too far ahead of him and
Yeah,
thinking there apparently.
Your brain was too fast for your mouth.
And I have kept the determination.
Require the
is-
ship's sensors engineering, please.
Absolutely.
6,
Let's see.
7.
Engineering, that's what it's already set to.
Whoops. Actually, no, those 2s are. One of those 2s does count. The other one doesn't. I forgot to hit no on focus used. But I still got a 1. So aha. So
1, 2, 3,
4,
4,
6,
5, 6, 7. 7 on 3, so 4 momentum generated.
and yeah, I'll do it. I'll spend another determination because I got it back to acquire the talent of guile and cunning,
Oh, it's a temporary gain of talent. Yeah, okay.
and I'll give you a threat to increase the difficulty of that task in terms of people trying to detect what has happened.
So
Make it a diff 5.
Lick.
Are we also spending to squash?
you do have a comp
yes.
on the table.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to.
and I keep it again.
Rigged
Yeah,
dice
we'll
roller.
push the complication.
What's your next move, Wildfire?
Tracking device is concealed aboard their vessel, Captain.
Understood. Your ability to be duplicitous is admirable. Okay.
Then just coughs.
Helm, warp us out of here and warp us out of here and find a subspace cloud or other unusual phenomena for us to hide in.
Phenomena.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Sorry.
Phenomena.
It is
Shooting
a.
All share one brain cell.
You call out the diff for your crew to shoot for there, Tavara. And if they hit that number, that's how hard it is to see them. +1 because whatever difficulty you roll, and then I'm gonna add +1 to that diff because you have some silhouette kicking in. And it is possible if they haven't adjusted for the Shackleton, there's an additional +2 because everything sensing stuff out here is very difficult to do. That's why you're having a hard time seeing them in the first place.
And most people don't expect to have to look for a Federation ship.
And do we get a bonus from Arlen's inane tinkering?
What he's done with that advantage, if I do see you, well, I'm gonna see something warping because you can't hide warp because that's a lot of energy. But it's gonna be confusing for me because I'd be if you were players and I did that to you, I'd be like, so something warps away. What? Something.
A
How
thing.
big is it? I can't tell you. You don't know. It looks like nothing warped away.
At least as big as the smallest warp engine conceivable.
Yeah. It's about a meter high, half a meter wide. What? That can just warp by itself. Well, I don't know what to tell you, sir. That's what the sensors are telling me.
Class-9 probe or a space whale? No, space whales are scale 3.
Yeah, actually, the assumption might be a probe. They might assume you're just a warp capable probe.
Okay. Okay, and this roll is going to be done by the crew task roll.
Yes.
So
Which is an
that
11.
would be, yeah, which is an 11. Okay, but we do have a focus for what it's worth. If I spend my player action to direct them to do this, can I roll my presence command to assist?
You did that for you already did that to get
Okay. Right. Okay. Okay.
Actually,
And
stealing a page from another game I've run. You could, if you can find a way to spend a one of your determination, you could get another action out of this. Because you arguably could have said I was holding until all that was done, and now I'm going to direct as my extra action. But you still need a value spend because it's still a determination spend.
Okay, well, I have the value. Good leaders know when to deliberate and when to be decisive. I think this is a situation where we have to be decisive and we have to warp out of here to survive.
That's probably accurate, yeah.
Okay, then I will roll.
Now, the other question to ask you as well, before you call to diff, you also want to call out how much power you're dumping, because that tells me how far away you got, like how much distance you got between thee and them. Because it depends if they don't have enough power to chase you, then even if they see you, they can't immediately engage because you're too far away. They have to basically hunt your trail and go after you rather than immediately warp to where you are. Assuming they see you, assuming they make that leap, that they should check out the warp capable probe. So
All right. Out of character book question. What is the average power of a scale 1 ship?
Power of ships of small craft is I just built them today, so
It's engine.
It's engine divided by 2, round up. So, and they're usually around 7 to 9 on the high. Like 9's really high for a small craft.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea of the range, it could, in theory, if it's a race car, like it's a full on like heavy engine thing, it might have 10 engine on a good day. But anything higher than that, you're building a scale 3 craft at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have 12 power. So what I'm going to say is 11. We'll hit 11. If you roll 5 dice where the difficulty is 11, there's a little bit better than a 50% chance to hit them. So like you'll get 2 to 3. So how about I say difficulty 4, and I want to dump 10 power into this warp, which is most of our power, but probably more than they can handle.
Roger.
So in order to roll 5 dice, be 1 momentum, 2 momentum, and 3 threat.
Yeah.
So it'd be 3 momentum, 3 threat.
Yep.
Oh no.
The ship helps with engines plus con, although don't know what's gonna do it.
Engines 9, con 3. Okay. Can we do it?
Oh no.
Oh no, and we have 2 power left.
Don't you love it when the ship just betrays you at the perfect moment?
This is Arlen's fault. I'm blaming Arlen for this. You messed with my ship, and now it's going to explode.
I thought I missed a structure, not engines.
Yeah, well, The ship is an interconnected ecosystem. You mess with one part, it affects something else. Okay, is there? I don't think there's anything I can do at this point.
No, because it's a crew role. The crew biffs it. They don't have any talents because they're not the heroes.
Okay, well, I'll let it stand.
Well, they you warp away, and then they report. As they try to warp and you try to guide them through the problem, they screw up they give off just too much heat. So you do warp some distance away, but they don't. One, you don't move as far as you thought you were going to, and two, you did give away your location. They may not know right yet. They see the contact of the warp capable probe now, so they don't have to scan for you now. They just know that something's out there. They just don't know what they're looking at yet until they get into combat range, until they get out of extreme range. Because at extreme range, you're very hard to see. But if they get into medium range, they're gonna see you.
Is that all of our actions?
You have 3 more from the wildfire, and you have a Thralic action and a Pend action.
Well, I think I know Ven action.
Well, I mean Ven as well, because Ven's actually on the ship. So.
Okay, so is there anything stopping us from generating more power and then doing it again?
You could try to just try to run away, because right now they've made contact. They see you. They just don't know what they're looking. But you could just try to straight up just haul ass and just run for it. You just need power. You just need enough power to do it.
I mean, at this point, we already burned 10 power to get into extreme range, so why not? Like at this point, I think if we run for it, we'll probably outpace them. So maybe I don't think any of our players have good con. Like Ven, do you have a good con?
Ben's the only hero character who's here, other than main character that's here and can be used, other than the support characters you might have brought along.
That's what I mean.
No.
Ven, do you have a good con? I don't think you do.
You are muted if you're saying something.
No, he has con too.
Whoops. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, my con's only 2, unfortunately. I'd be better at generating power. But
right.
I mean, but only by 1.
Would you like to generate power then?
Well, depends. What would be the role to warp us out of here?
Control con.
But I assume we would need power to do that.
Akira would have a better role for that, and I see he's on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want, I can activate my player turn for an NPC there.
Well, just about to say, if you want, as I've been using Catal, I'm not really doing transporting right now, so don't do an engineering task to generate power for that role.
Yeah, his only thing would be diff would increase by 1 because he's overriding, but still, it's something.
Yeah,
that's probably something within his bailiwick he could get away with.
Me for power then, or someone else doing something.
Yeah, I think I'll use Catal to generate power for Akir to warp.
Okay,
sounds good.
Leave it to you guys.
Yes, Tavara is going to make a write-up of every officer who was involved in that mistake, including herself.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that your ship's actually perfect built for doing that exact maneuver you tried to pull. You just got unlucky. It's like, we goofed it. Damn it. Well, too late now. We've been seen. Daring control plus engineering difficulty 2 to generate some power. Did 3, sorry, because you're overriding.
Yeah. Would you take the focus in power systems?
I don't know. It seems pretty tangential. No, I'll take it.
Would you take
Sell me on it.
Yeah.
Sell me on it.
Would you take a value for or a determination spend for mission directive?
I would, because you guys now have intelligence aboard that you need to get back to base.
Okay.
If you guys get blown up, then the mission's gonna be screwed. That's fair.
If that's the case, I will give 2 threat, please.
Okay.
I have bold. That's 4. That's 6 from Qatar.
You generate 1 power. You generate 1 power. You can generate more power per momentum, repeatable.
Can't remember, is a K a bold or a cautious? It's a silly question, but I'll ask it. K's bold. I'll spend all 4.
So additional 4. You're up to 7 power.
I believe that should be a fair amount for a K to warp.
Yeah.
Here's
so.
warping.
Yep. What's the difficulty on that roll?
It is, just so you avoid hitting anything. Yeah, that's what it is. 2. Control con diff 2 assisted by engines plus con. And how much power are you putting into it?
Well, I mean, we have to get away, right? So
We don't have to. You can choose to be caught. You get a hope for it. Sorry, wrong game.
You could warp in the opposite direction, and then when they board us because we're out of power, we kill them, and then we win.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly.
Override,
I
eject the
will
warp core. I'd like a challenge. No.
So I think I'll spend 6 power because dropping to 0 seems bad, unless we have improved anything there. No.
Isn't this an override?
He can move over to a console to help with flying.
Okay.
Because he's on the bridge. The miner moves to a console and is able to walk.
And fun fact, I could move further than normal with a minor action because of the talent aerial combat.
Right, you have wings.
Yeah.
Orans are awesome that way.
Well, okay, so before I start this, I do have to point out that I have a complication Tremors 2 on the sheet, which I don't remember when it's from, but apparently it hasn't been cleared. So
Veil.
Okay.
Oh no, that was the psionic attack. Because it was like.
Oh no.
Because that was like
Yeah.
a kid, the chef, and a few others.
Is that before new?
Oh no, that would have been clear. That I know what Tremors from.
Okay. Yeah. So it was from the disease outbreak, right?
Because he was the first variant.
All right, so I can clear that.
You can clear that, yeah.
Just thought I'd point it out because I couldn't remember what it was from. And I didn't know if it was from like last time or something. Let's see. Focus in aerial combat.
No. If you were in atmosphere, I'd take it. You're in space.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right.
Was worth a shot.
Yeah.
I will buy 2 dice with threat here, so 3 threat to you.
Okay.
And before, it, hit it.
What's the ship? Come on, ship Biff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll take
On
it personally for the
ship.
rest of my life.
Engine's gone.
Yeah,
That sounds like a lot of mental effort.
it is. So thanks for that.
Well, you see, the more effort you spend hating me, the less effort you can spend, giving me a challenge as a player. So it's actually a 4D chess.
I see how it is. And I like it. No, anyway, so you warp away. And you find yourself, you find that you have, you don't find anyone chasing after you at the moment. Or if they are, you're moving so far away from them so quickly that they don't really recognize what's going on, like whether it's worth the effort. And that's when Akir notices a gravity well alarm. You're about to warp into a planet.
Take us out of warp?
You drop out of warp and find the view screen filled with a planet that you seem to be nose diving toward. You can see the fire rolling off of the navigational shield. Because the deflector shield's still beyond, so you don't get holes poked in you. But you are rushing very, very quickly toward a planet because you're now falling.
Try to get us into a stable low orbit, or at least not a collision course.
You begin pulling up, and the scene ends.
Yay!
You're about to hit that planet and cause a wildfire.
Hey, that's the name of the ship. I
I
get it.
I
He's
know,
funny.
so smart.
I was thinking out of character. Wildfire is a very morbid name for a starship.
Oh, what you're talking about? Wildfires are an essential part of maintaining a healthy ecosystem.
Hmm.
You know, that's true.
So, a couple days go by, and the Achilles goes to yellow alert as it begins to approach the last known coordinates of the wildfire. You drop out of warp. You are now at the last known. You are now approaching the last known coordinates.
Okay, eyes open. Have we got any pings out there?
Reason, science, difficulty 5, assisted by sensor.
Somebody want to take that? Definitely not me.
It's almost like you sent your sensor boy over somewhere. It'll be fine. Sensor boy sounds like cabin boy.
Wait a second. I feel like we've been here before.
We have. It's been a few years though.
Yes, unfortunately we can't fire the comms boy.
Ugh. 4 years later, and it will never not be funny.
So who do we have on supports who someone can activate? Presumably not Mirror Pen.
Rymek?
Don't we have? Oh, yeah, Rymek.
Is
Yeah.
Rymek back? Oh, Rymek's back. Cool.
Did he go somewhere?
Oh no, wait, sorry, wrong science ensign.
Yeah, that one died.
Yeah, that one It's gone.
You didn't see a body. You don't know he's dead. He's just presumed dead. That's different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if he's
Who's rolling
turned,
Ramek?
yeah, probably one of the people who haven't got a main character here.
I volunteer Ven.
Yes.
Rymek is being ordered to scan for contacts at the last known coordinates of the wildfire. Reason science
Alrighty.
difficulty 5.
Oh, great. My favorite. Heck. Oh, and there's no momentum on the board either.
Nope.
That's great. Investigative techniques?
Really? He has that? Huh.
Yeah, it's his first focus.
I'll take it, yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, you sound surprised, but we're not complete fuck-ups when building NPCs.
Well, I'm used to that on a security guy. That's my thing. I'm used to hearing that from a security officer and a science officer. But it makes sense for a science officer. So I'm like, huh, okay, neat. It's a neat use of that focus.
I'll spend 3 threat.
Okay.
Sure, why not? Oh, and he has bold. Cool. That's 6
Okay, well.
successes.
Gain a momentum.
Cool. Thanks, ship.
Gotta go through admin chat to find that goddamn pin.
Okay. Let me know when you're done, because I assume that's not everything.
Reading the computer sensors report and asking, "Are you done?"
Are you done yet?
Are we there yet?
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
No, this is the opposite. This is they're telling you more information and you're telling it to stop.
No. Here it is. There you go. In the Achilles chat. Detecting a few things. Multiple mine detonations. Their warp signatures indicate at least 2 star. The 2 starships, are those currently detected, or when you say
Remnant,
presence
sorry.
of?
Like signs that something was there.
Okay. Based on these warp signatures, there have been at least 2 starships in the region, and 10 smaller signatures indicative of small craft. Possibly shuttles or fighters. And that's what I got.
Oh, okay. Do any of these signatures match the wildfire?
That'll be a momentum spend.
Yeah, momentum spend. Affirmative, Captain.
If that's the case, can you transfer that signature to Con to see if we can locate them?
Aye, Captain. And Rymek will do that.
Khan sees it pop up on her screen. To follow the signature, it did warp away, as we all know. It will require control plus con. Difficulty of... At least that. This one I actually have to spend to make harder. Wait, actually. I'm using the wrong thing entirely. Reason or insight plus con. Difficulty 5. Assisted by sensors plus con. As you're trying to find out where it went. Because you can figure out, there's a warp trail. Where's it going? Because when she looks at the warp trail, like even when you start sending out your sensor range, it looks like it's not warping in a straight line. It starts being very erratic at some point.
Now, if I know anything about ducking patrols, let me rephrase that. Now, I know a thing or two about trying to avoid being seen. I think this means someone was onto them and they were trying to avoid a patrol.
More than likely, but the sooner we find out why and what they were trying to avoid, the sooner we can render assistance. Does Rylov or Orpha wish to grab Asala?
I can do. Let me find her sheet. There it is.
It's under traitors and vagabonds.
Yep, found it.
Highly specific.
Reason or insight? Oh, well, that's going to have to be a reason.
I mean, she has 2 determinations and she's relatively okay at con.
Yeah, she just has protocols? What? Is that supposed to be Starfleet protocols?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
How to eat at fine dining. How to appropriately address a computer system using
I'm pretty sure protocols is just like way too general.
Yeah.
Protocol droid. Fluent in
No,
over 15,000
all of the
languages.
protocols.
Yeah, clearly old
Mm.
protocols. But yeah, Starfleet protocols. Focus.
Unfortunately not.
Helm control focus.
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay. Right, okay, so the ship's just rolled a 1. Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Like I said, she's relatively decent when it comes to con tasks.
Oh, ship hasn't rolled a thing.
No, I mean, the talent she has means the ship's rolls counted as a 1.
Oh.
That was just making sure I had all of her talents in mind. So yeah, that focus, the 5. She's cautious. Shocking. Too bad, no momentum. I'll give you 3.
Give me 3i.
Seven.
Plus, oh yeah. Yeah, you are able to follow the trail. And it, as you're, well, actually, you see the trail. You can follow it if you wish.
Captain, the trail has been identified. I can follow it easily.
Are there any anomalies or contacts along this path before we just warp in?
Double checking now.
Momentum spend. Where are you? Here you are.
Right here. Hi. It looks like there's a Class 5 spatial anomaly along the course. From what I can tell, this seems to have thrown the wildfire into... Oh, sorry, no. The wildfire went through it at high warp.
Let's go along it, but once we approach, given a bit of distance, we'll drop out just to make sure we know what the anomaly is.
Yes, Captain.
They really went through an anomaly at high warp. That doesn't sound safe at all. What could have possibly been chasing them that they were that anxious to get away?
More than likely, they were trying to maneuver, but it's easy for something to go wrong.
It's easy for something like that to hide in a nebula.
I mean, look what else hid in a nebula and we threw our face into.
This be a trap then? It's entirely possible that this warp trail was left for us specifically so that we would follow it and warp right into a mine, no?
It's possible.
That would... To use the wildfires... What's this? Have we specified this was the wildfires trail, or no?
Yes.
It's just a trail.
Yeah, it was the wildfire.
Okay, so for them to have the wildfires trail, they would have to have full control of the wildfire, which is unlikely to happen.
Well, the two results I see are that something ambushed the wildfire and made them flee, or something ambushed the wildfire and took them over. In either case, they were dealing with someone of superior arms and maybe superior tactics. So,
Well, luckily we're at yellow alert. We have shields up, and that's why we'll be dropping out before we hit the anomaly, so we can readjust and take it from there. For now, until we have a bit more information, it's best to just fall into the trap. Sometimes it's more advantageous to play the fool.
The Achilles is much more suited to surviving a trap than the wildfire would be.
oh, absolutely. I am not expressing doubt over our current plan of actions. I am sure that we can fight whatever lays in the great beyond. But I wanted us to be aware of the dangers. Because this reminds me when we would, get the Cardassians to send an isolated patrol up the hill country.
I mean, considering we've already run into a trap, had to fall back and come and return here, I'm assuming any maneuver we're going to be making within this nebula and towards Gre'thor Station is going to be at a disadvantage. So for now, I would very much prefer to have them consider the Achilles and its actions to be foolish.
Understood.
And we'll tactically do that when the GM gets back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll return after these messages.
No, I could absolutely see that being like an actual Star Trek, advertising stinger where Picard stands up and says, "Follow that trail, go right into the follow that trail," and someone says, "Oh, there's an anomaly on the way," and then he says, "Do it anyways," or something, and then they warp away, and then buy a Toyota, and then we come back.
Yeah.
Look, don't tell me to celebrate Toyotathon. You know my family celebrates Happy Honda Days.
Well, there's a conversation I walked into. So, I presume the
Yeah,
order
we'll
closer
sum up.
was given.
Yeah, so we're essentially going to continue to play the role of the fool and warp after them, but just drop out before the anomaly.
You do so. That's something you can manage without a check.
Plus, we are at yellow alert, so shields are raised.
Y'all alert, shields are up. Acknowledged. The amber lights blink. And on the view screen ahead, you can see the anomaly, as the majority of the Shackleton is one massive anomaly. That's kind of this whole thing. With various gravimetric and electromagnetic anomalies that make traversing it in general difficult. With the exception of the Achilles, usually, because you guys have acclimated to it in your year exploring it. But this is a whole other creature entirely. It's the difference between seeing a dark rain cloud and an intense thunderstorm. This greenish haze that seems to be charged. Well, actually, no, not even charged. It almost seems like the stars themselves are bending and distorting in front of you. And like imagine if you ever saw like a rainbow slick on like an oil slick or something like that, where you have that rainbow pattern, like kind of weird sickly color, except it's all various shades of green. And it's massive. Like it's covering like the entire view screen. Like you've warped close enough that you could be in easy scanning range of it. Like probably within like long or medium range, I presume. Probably not close. But it like expands across endlessly from a visual perspective in all three directions. Well, all three dimensions, I should say.
Yeah, X, Y, and Z. Well,
Sensors detects that one contact because it's massive. You couldn't miss it.
Since you're telling me the wildfire flew through that?
Yes.
Let's fire off a probe and see what we can pick up about it. Plus, it'd be nice to see what happens to the probe.
The bridge answers you with silence.
Whosoever is firing the probe.
Yeah, we don't have a security officer, so do we want to activate one?
Yeah, get Orpha
Right.
to.
Oops.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Kino TR, I presume, or Cadet Sorrel?
Either or, whichever one. Which one would you like to be, Orpha?
Saral, and who was the other one?
Kino.
I'm gonna do Cadet Sorrel.
Okay. Give me control plus security. Difficulty of how far were you firing? Like, are you like I guessed how long away you were. But extreme is the close. Anything past extreme, like extreme plus, you might as well not warp the closer. So it's extreme, long,
Probably
medium,
long.
close, contact
Long
range.
range.
Long range. Okay, so and then the anomaly. Control plus security, difficulty 7, assisted by weapons plus security. The difficulty is making sure it gets through and you don't lose telemetry. You don't lose the probe. You don't lose contact with the probe. And also directing the probe if it runs into something, which you kind of have to program ahead of time because you can't do it live. There's a lag. So you kind of have to guess what the probe's going to run into and try to teach the probe's AI what to do very quick in a succinct manner.
Well, that's gonna be fun.
Do you want directing?
A direct will help.
So your emotional imperative is to be. Oh, sorry, wrong kind of direct.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll direct the cadet.
Value combat is just applied physics. This is basically just a long range physics problem.
I wouldn't say you're in combat though.
So I'm firing things.
You are, but if I fire a spitball at you, I don't think I'm getting a sharpshooter in the army.
Depends
Or I
on the
will,
distance.
but it'd be forcefully done. Depends on the distance. 100 meters. How did you give me my medal? That's not how that works, sir. Please leave the base.
All right. Directive. If you have a directive on helping out the wildfire,
Yes.
I'll use that as a determination. Focus in Starship tactical systems.
Yep.
And let's go all in. 5 threat.
5 threat eye.
That's 8, and I'll roll for my direct. Still gain 1.
Typical captain, no help. No. The probe is away, and it doesn't manage to obliterate itself the minute it enters the anomaly.
And that's with the +2 from the directive spend?
Yeah, that's with the +2.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure I'm reading all the credit. I deserve off that roll. Anyways.
Probe's still alive. It's moving around.
Okay, what we
Probe
picking
is
up?
away.
Say that again, Captain.
What data are we picking up? Anything on screen or?
Reason plus science. Difficulty. Ba. And ba. Oh no, you're no. It's that because this is an addict to use the probe, so it's just that number. So it's actually a possible roll.
It's kind of maybe the reason why we fired the probe in the first place.
Yeah. Whoops! I can't type for the love of. Reason science, difficulty 7, assisted by sensor science. Without the probe, it would have been like difficulty 10 plus. Like it would just would have been possible. It's like I scan what's beyond there. You see an anomaly. Oh, hey probe, go in there. Okay, I'm in the anomaly. Okay, what do you see? Hold on.
What
This
do
is
your
what I
probe
see.
eyes see?
Though I can tell you for free, anyone in there, unless they knew they were flying, would be just utterly blinded. Like you would see most ships would see nothing. They would their senses would just give them garbage back.
Well, the ship didn't help.
Typical ship. Could be on a sensor boat, but no, you have to be on the strategic cruiser.
Hey, I kept giving people the choice of making changes.
Could have been an Oberth, could have been a Nova, California even, Olympic.
See,
We could have skipped 20 years into the future and had, like, I don't know, a Reliant class or something.
can I just point out, as soon as they introduced that slim sensor silhouette, I keep thinking of like the Normandy from Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think of the Bridge Crew game. Because it's literally what the Hermes... Was it the Hermes? I forget what they were called. The Aegis, that's what they were called. The Aegis basically played submarine tactics with other ships by hiding in nebulas and turning down power and hiding at cylinders. It's like, dude, that's a slim sensor silhouette. That's exactly what they're doing.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is a Ven as Rymek.
Okie doke.
If you need assistance, there's 2 command officers here.
Oh, goody. I think I'm going to spend 1. So it's going to be 4 threat, 2 momentum for a full raft.
And draw assistance.
I would.
Commander, do you wish to do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Pull your weight for once.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm
Throw in
really
an assist
spicy
here.
today. Don't mind me.
Oh, hang on. That's not right. I accidentally rolled Ven stats. Ooh, I have to
Ah.
I have to recompare to Ramek's.
I mean, you also rung the wrong discipline.
Yes, I know. Although the numbers end up the same, the focuses might not. If I rolled a 4 anywhere, I did not. I rolled a bunch of 5.
5 6s.
That's tragic.
That is tragic. All right, so I'm rolling an assist here for direct then.
So yeah.
Yeah, the ship didn't assist, unfortunately, so we're at 5 of 7.
That's
6 of 7.
1 more, and then my different assist things fire here. So then you could re-roll a die if you want to.
I mean, I think this is the only way this can succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, I could also assist, but that's overkill.
Do you guys... So how much do I get? I just get to re-roll 1, right?
Yeah, Advisor lets you re-roll 1 die here. Maximize Efficiency also lets me re-roll my die if I want to. So I could do that.
You have a better crit range than I do on this, I think.
Yeah, but Team Dynamics is my focus here, GM. Team Dynamics is my focus for the direct.
Yeah, that would have applied.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll maximize efficiency, re-roll my assist die, see if I can get a crit. No, I in fact made it worse.
You're now too short with a comp.
Do
I need to assist as well?
Let me see. Oh god, I should have just used my Christopher Pike Medal of Valor. I forget I have medals, you know? Also, I've been gone for like a month.
Ooh.
So yeah, no, I've used my only available resource because normally you can't muddle with assist rolls at all.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that
that's I now that you forked your
Yeah.
assist, I cannot make this. I
Mhm.
physically cannot make this.
You try to read the readings off the probe, and either the probe is seeing something weird, and it like its computer just isn't seeing it properly, or by through the transmission, it's not getting to you, and neither you nor Thrala can really untangle what's wrong, because you can't fix the problem because you don't know if it's something you're doing wrong or something the probe is doing wrong, or if it's just that is what the probe is seeing, but that
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense, you know.
Mhm.
Left is now right, which is also above you, which is also below you, which is also liquid, which is also a gas, which is also in fact a vacuum. It's like, what? That makes these are all contradictory. That can't be possible.
Yep.
Well,
But the probe's still there. It doesn't blow up or nothing. It's just sitting there feeding you garbage information.
Well, okay, we know the ship entered the nebula or entered the anomaly, correct?
Yep.
And do we know like where it exited the anomaly, or do we lose the trail inside of the anomaly?
In theory, you could follow the trail still.
Well,
Like,
my
you
thought is, can we just go around and see if we can pick up the trail on the other end?
depends how big the anomaly is.
Okay. Well,
Because it's uncharted. You guys haven't seen this anomaly before, so it's an undocumented anomaly.
okay. Well, Asa will throw out that idea because that's the only thing I can think of.
okay. Can we get a scan of the size of the anomaly and if we can pick up the trail on the other side?
You're looking at an extended task because you're charting the several star systems or the surrounding space. It's huge. Whatever this thing's vast, whatever it is, but you're not sure how vast. You'd have to spend time sending out probes, maybe small shuttles, flying around yourself, looking to really get an idea of how big this thing is. Because it could be just like a star system big, which is incredibly big, or it could be half the sector. Like it could be its own mini expanse, for all you know. But you could chart it. That's a thing Starfleet does. That's something you would know how to do. It would just take time, is the only thing.
Yeah, I mean, if this is our lead on the wildfire, then charting it might be the next best thing to do if we can't one-shot it with a probe.
I'm going to signal for Aza and Thralik to approach.
What do you two want for Christmas? Sorry, go on.
So, the two options available, that's, well, earlier reality, are we enter attempting to follow with the knowledge that we're entering something blind and with risk, or we spend time navigating this, charting it, trying to find a way around, all while not knowing the situation of the wildfire and if they are in distress. As the two senior most officers left on the ship, and as part of the senior staff, I'd like suggestions.
I would advise cautiously following the trail of the wildfire, sir. Given the evidence we've uncovered so far, they may be in distress, and the distortion of this anomaly could be preventing communication.
I would agree with Commander Thralik. As it stands right now, we have no reason to believe that the wildfire is in pristine condition, and have every reason to believe that they are in sub-pristine condition. And it has already been several days, or over 48 hours, I believe, since this event happened. So time may be running out for them. Uh, um, while it is much more dangerous for the crew of the Achilles to go into the anomaly uncharted, I think we have to. And I think this crew can handle that.
If any ship's going to survive a unusual subspace or spatial phenomenon inside the Shackleton, it's going to be the Achilles, Captain.
Understood.
Captain, if I may,
Yes, cadet.
we have a duty to help those that are in need, and I believe a famous captain and once said, "Risk is our business."
That is technically a correct statement, but unnecessary risk is not. Calculated risk, yes.
I can see the argument for either way, Captain. Whichever path you choose, I support.
After this talk, I'm leaning towards entering, but I would ask you to get medbay ready for any anomalies that occur with the crew, and I would ask you, Commander, to ask the hoplites to render assistance if required.
Yes, sir.
So,
By the way, sir.
any final objections?
No, sir.
None.
I like how I'm talking to two senior staff members and yet an ensign cadet just going, "Hey, over here!"
I want to
Alright.
contribute too.
So I'll just have her using her Vulcan hearing to listen in on a obvious private conversation. Like, well, I'll get written up for it. I don't care. I think it's logical for me to contribute. Cadet, read the room.
I mean, yeah, she's not going to get in trouble, but it's in the same breath, it's like, I'm
Hey, she's a
specific.
cadet. This sets a bad example for her final exam.
I mean, I'll note it, but I'm not going to, like, say, oh, she was completely out of line. She gave a
Oh, no,
honest
she's not.
opinion, yeah.
Yeah, she's getting an A, not an A+. You know, like it's like you lose a point, but you know, you're not gonna fail the course over being nosy.
Lieutenant Shishrir, make efforts for us to enter the anomaly. Ensign Rymek, try and keep all eyes open on the exterior. Try to record as much as possible.
Yes, sir.
While we don't know the situation of the wildfire, we do know a situation caused them to head through here, which was unexpected. I do expect something that probably go wrong, but I do have confidence we are more than capable to handle most things that come our way, so it's a calculated risk I am willing to take. If there's any objections now, you can state them.
None, sir. Good job.
Yeah, now you can fucking state them.
Oof. Wow.
If not, enter.
End scene. So, it's no longer relevant. Powers back to normal 'cause it's a new scene. So, on the view screen, everyone can see that you're about to. It looks like you're about to nosedive into a planet. Here's trying to get a ship not to do that because most ships aren't rated for ramming planets. On a quick glance, Akir can see that there are you won't be able to pull up and avoid contact with the surface in time. You're gonna touch something. You just have to choose what you're touching. You're crashing into something, or crash landing. But it is either going to be a large landmass, an island, or the ocean, or it appears to be a large body of water.
Can I suggest we don't touch grass this time?
Aim for the body of water, if you
Yeah.
could.
Actually, aim at the body. Yeah, I was thinking aim at the body of water and maybe fire a torpedo ahead of us to aerosolize.
Yeah, if we can break surface tension, aerosolize the water, that would give us an additional buffer.
Well, I mean, hold on. So daring security, I suppose. Difficulty, well, 3 because you're firing your torpedo at all. You will be giving me a threat because you're firing your torpedo. Weapons plus security to create that advantage of making the crash landing not so bad. Try to soften the landing a bit.
How much time do we have before we hit the ground?
Mere moments. You have maybe each
Is
of
it
you
a
get
one
one
action or 2 action? Okay.
one action per main character. And
Alright,
this is setting
Ryloth.
this is setting aside the NPC crew because they're kind of they're all kind of busy making sure bracing for impact and getting everyone to get ready to get flying around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
putting on those seatbelts, making sure the rocks are ready to be released.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
See
Ryloth,
the
want to take
rocks?
that?
Tactical systems. Shocking.
Yeah.
No hesitation, kind of suggesting that he had already put in the targeting coordinates before being told fire.
It's like, I'm presuming the captain's going to ask for this and it's a good idea. I'll do it then. Huh? Oh, that's an order? Okay, sure.
Yeah, like mechanically changes nothing, but like,
Logical
yeah.
deduction.
Yeah.
I'm paranoid. I don't think that does anything this time.
That won't help. That won't hurt anything.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think that hinders me this time. Great, lovely.
The water is secretly Cthulhu. You know what that is? I read a lot.
The water is sentient, and
Abeloth is down there. What are you talking about, Lieutenant? I read. Everything's a danger.
I'm just gonna give you one threat, and yeah.
Well, I'll take my 2 threat because 1 for you and 1 for the torpedo.
Tragedy.
Non-
Okay,
It is
Tragedy.
non-Euclidean water.
we go in there
Oh.
right now.
Apparently it is.
Yeah.
I mean, ship assist could maybe get us there.
I've got options too.
Oh, yeah. Security, weapon security.
Weapons.
Roger, Roger.
Okay, Starship task roll.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna Legion of Honor. That doesn't, no complication. Go away. Shoo. Bye.
You fire the torpedo, you arm it so it detonates just as it's hitting the water. Because if you let that sit, it was going to over penetrate. It's like, oh, it blows up all right, and it kills something in the water, but doesn't help you at all.
And then
The torpedo hits the water, this huge explosion goes off.
the
Arlen
Arlen
not so much of water
reinforced
just aerosolizes.
Arlen reinforced structural integrity. Maybe.
I was just gonna reinforce structure integrity.
Yeah.
Well, that's cheating. You're not allowed to do that.
What if I recklessly do it?
Well, that's even more cheating because it's reckless. We do things by the book at this table.
Isn't
Wait,
most
there's a
cheating
book?
planned?
I thought that was just a suggestion.
Where's the bloody thing? There it is.
There's a book.
Am I crazy?
Oh, you mean that thing I'm using to prop up the warp core? Yeah.
Power.
Are you going to need momentum to do this?
We have one.
I'm very threatening.
Because he has 30 threat, and I was thinking of doing a rally task anyways.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
Rally would
all
not
right.
hurt.
So, would you mind if I went first and did a rally?
Go for it. If we have a bunch of momentum, we might be able to maybe create advantages to keep our teeth in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, you can also use it and still trigger like bold
Oh,
with
that's
just
what it's
one
called.
threat if
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah,
use
absolutely.
multiple dice and stuff.
Yeah, so Tavara, who's just you know, Vulcan cool, like staring at the view screen with I keep I keep thinking the view screen is this way. The view screen is actually up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I've had it backwards in my head the whole time. Um yeah, Tavara, who's got like that Vulcan cool, but like, you know, one hand on her chin to indicate she's not entirely confident that this is going to work out, is going to press on the intercom and say, "This is the captain speaking. The ship is going down. All hands all hands brace for impact and prepare for a landing in oceanic conditions. Um, I have my full. I have no reason to doubt that you will do anything but your best in this unfortunate situation."
Presence command, please. Difficulty 0.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I don't really know how I can swing a focus for this one. So,
Surprise! This game becomes Subnautica.
I have
Wow.
tried to play that game so many times. My fear of the ocean is so bad. Like,
Yeah.
horror games don't do anything for me. That game will make me terrified. Anyways, one momentum, two threat.
The ocean, it's like space, but more dense.
Yeah, see,
Mhm.
that's the.
And things
I've
live
spent
in it.
I spent
Yeah.
so
They
much
all
time
want to
doing
eat you.
ocean research in my everyday life that I'm not scared of it because I know it's just mud at the bottom.
There's stuff that hides in that mud, though.
There's
Mhm.
bodies in the
Mm.
mud.
No, the ocean isn't. Look, the ocean is incredibly cool when I'm watching a documentary about the creatures who live in it. It's a lot less cool when I'm in the shoes of someone who's struggling to survive inside of it, and there are big
Uh-huh.
fantasy monsters in there.
Yeah, fair.
Oh dear. I have bold command, right? Yeah.
Gain 1 momentum.
Which
One-
and I spent one momentum, so
It was a net neutral.
mhm.
Sometimes the Vulcan captain in the, stressful situation isn't helping.
Don't worry. The Vulcan part of the crew is perfectly mollified. But then again, they were pretty chill about it to begin with, so.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I estimate there is an 18.9% chance of survival for most crew members.
So Orange kind of looks
Thanks
over
for
and
the
says,
vote of confidence, Cap.
"Why can I die on a Romulan ship?" She got beamed to the bridge, so.
Yeah, she
know
did.
the-
So she's just
Yeah.
here now.
Yeah.
To know the odds against you is to gain more information to beat them.
Sure you can't just, like, aim for the bridge to hit first, or? I believe Arlen is attempting to reinforce the hull integrity. Like
Yarp.
a friggin' nerd.
All right.
For the love of control plus engineering. Normally be security, but this is, you're dealing with an environmental hazard, so I'll treat it differently. Control engineering assisted by. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you the difficulty. That was helpful. Wait, what? Brain? Hello? There we go. Do
Hello, computer.
structure plus engineering. Does your at the end of a scene? Or
It
does it stay
ends
there
when
till you
I
turn it
tell
off?
it stays there until I turn it off.
Well,
So it is
okay.
still on.
So comp total of 3.
All right. Div 2.
Oh no, Slim Senso is still on. That's why you're at 12 of 14.
That's fine.
That was,
I am reckless.
We know.
comp 4.
I am also a fast thinker.
If you whiff this, if you whiff this roll, you will have the advantage that you can try again without.
Okay.
Because we're not in combat time, but I'll give you another shot at the can if you miss it.
I'm also pushing the limits of what the freedom class can take up the nose.
That's true. Diff or comp.
Let's bring on the diff.
Diff 1.
Technical insights to know what parts of the ships can take what stressors.
Yep. I would take that.
All right, and my intention is to reinforce or some sections of the ship, but then use like cargo bays and stuff as crumple zones to absorb more energy.
Okay. Good thing is you were at red alert earlier, so there's no one in the cargo base, because that's the first place you should leave. The big open space that can be sucked into vacuum? Yeah, probably shouldn't hang out there.
I am hoping there's no one in the cargo bay.
No, there's no one there.
But
red
I
alert,
don't have time to check.
Yeah.
All right. Take one threat.
Taking one threat eye.
And focus, yes. All right. And bold. And then structure.
Structure engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Comp range of 4. Capitan.
Maselli? Okay, I'll do it manual.
Doing it live.
Hi, I'm sorry. What am I rolling?
Structure engineering.
All right.
Comp 4.
Whoops, I had the right thing in the first place. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4 momentum was generated.
Plus the 2 bonus.
And you increase resistance by at least 1 for each additional momentum you spend. For each momentum you spend, repeatable, you can increase your resistance by that much until you take damage, and it will stay that way until you take damage.
All right. Let's drain it all the way down to. So we have 2 momentum left. So plus 5.
Plus 5 to the resistance. So your total of 9, essentially.
Hold on. I think I have
Holding
that.
on.
Legion of Honor, 2 bonus momentum. Add 2 more resistance to that.
Wait, no, that's not how math works. 9 plus 2 is 11.
I mean, generally, yes.
Yeah, you've reinforced your structure. There's to be couple zones, so you've sort of weakened certain structural integrity on purpose to kind of make the impact. If it's going to hurt anything, it hurts stuff you don't really care about that much.
I'm sorry, we might lose the holodeck.
Yeah, like, oh no, we'll lose the holodeck. Yeah, we won't. Engine block area. Or the sensors or the life support systems. Yep. So you've done that. I believe the only. What are you guys gonna do? The water's getting alarmingly closer. Well, rather, you're getting alarmingly closer to it at a great speed.
I don't know if either of our scientists has anything they want to do before I do the con roll, but because I presume the con roll is the last roll here.
Yeah.
Could I possibly take a swift task and boost power to the retro With Fast Thinker?
With Fast Thinker, I'll let you do a daring plus engineering difficulty 2, assisted by brain structure plus engineering. So comp goes back up to 4. Yeah, because of reckless.
Oh boy, we're having all sorts of fun today.
Mm-hmm.
Limit pusher.
Differ comp.
Diff.
Diff 1.
EPS systems as a focus. Rerouting power.
I'll say no on this point.
Technical insight.
I'll take it.
All right. One single threat for that bold reroll. Well, that was bound to happen. Value. Ew, nothing is perfectly better than it was. I'm literally trying to make this better than we currently have. But I might blow out a thruster.
I will. You always word that in a way that throws me, but it's because the value's word. But I will take it on the basis of the fact that you have comps and you're trying to. It's like I'm not going for perfect. I just want it to work.
All right.
It's better than it was 5 minutes ago. It's not what I was going for, but oh well. Better than nothing. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus the ship's structure engineering. From the Vulcan who can tell poetry.
Right, structure engineering. I'm sorry, I just keep forgetting I'm supposed to be doing those things.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
It's usually me doing it for the Achilles.
Oh,
Good
2.
ship.
Nice.
Plus 2 more because as the structure is currently redlined.
Yep.
How many
9
advantages do we
momentum.
want?
Well, 2 bonus.
2 bonus.
Yeah.
Let's spend 4 total and create 2 extra advantages on the thrusters.
I would only take the 1. You have very little. The fact you're doing this at all is impressive.
Okay. All right, so let's do at least like 1 extra advantage on that.
So
No extra
1
advantage.
on
0 extra
thrusters.
advantage. Just regular advantage. That's my call.
Okay. 1 advantage, and then I still have 1 float.
I've got a weird one for you if you're interested.
I'll take it.
Could we ask a question of, yes, we seem to be in a free fall, but could this question give us a type of what's the gravity of this planet and what would be the reverse thrust needed? Or the maneuvers?
Not from his point of view. That'd be a sensor question. He's looking inward at the ship.
Or maybe an advantage to help with that roll next?
Well, that's what this roll's helping with already.
I don't know. It's just...
Yeah. I know. You had like how much bonus? Because you only spent 2.
I had 3 bonus.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
I thought you had more for some reason.
So I have the 1 bonus left that I'm trying to figure out what to do with.
Wow.
I think it's going poof.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that's
Alright,
what I was
it's
trying to
good.
ask the question.
Again, somebody on science want to take a roll here.
Sure.
What are you sciencing?
Does anyone have any specific suggestions?
No. I was
Gravity.
gonna suggest
Gravity profile of the planet.
Yeah, maybe a scan of like the like the classification and habitability of the planet.
Yeah, because we know next to nothing about where we're crashing.
Yeah, just like any sensor information that can be fed to Con so that I have any sort of
Yeah.
reduced difficulty or anything on the con roll would be nice, basically. And
Yeah.
sensors are great at providing information for that.
Because the last thing you want to do is
Great.
just pull straight up and, oh, there's a mountain in front of me. I didn't know that was there.
Yep. In that
Reason
case,
science difficulty 0 because you're you're about to be within contact range of the planet. Sensor
Mhm.
science to assist.
Yep. I am just gonna spend a momentum just for that reroll. Sensor operations focus, reason science. Okay, I will leave that as it is. That's 2 float.
We just need the Aza roll.
For the
Sorry,
ship.
sensor science. Yep.
Please.
Mhm.
Hey.
It's
That's-
so easy to forget to fucking roll for the ship.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. Ship's been doing pretty well, though.
Oh yeah, rolling well.
Yeah, but the game master has 35 threat.
It's
That's
true. Maybe
Mm.
advantage, the information is able to be made salient incredibly quickly.
Hey, he's not here.
yeah.
Well. All right,
Which means
then.
I can't even ask question. Oh yeah, and I also get a free question for science officer shenanigans. So
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if this is going to be a rescue or a salvage job.
I don't know.
Well, I assume the ship is unsavable. Like,
It depends.
well,
know?
okay. As far as I know, starships still aren't built to take off from atmosphere, and we would have to do shenanigans with like tractor beams or something to get us out
Right.
of here. And like it's a Federation class, and we're in hostile territory. Like, even if we can do that, is it worth it?
Ships are pretty useful.
Yeah, they're not
Like-
cheap
Yeah.
either. Obviously,
Well,
don't do
and-
currency, but it's not cheap to make a ship.
yeah, well, it's going to be the question of whether or not we need to completely scuttle it or preserve it for later salvage. That's what it's going to come down to, probably.
Possibly, yeah. We'll see.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Class M planet. Is that the information given?
That was a question I asked.
Oh, great.
What kind of planet is a Class M? Kind of covers the variety of things you like. Is the atmosphere breathable? What's the temperature like? What's the gravity like? If it's Class M, then it's fairly close to Earth. It's a planet you could totally just live on without any terraforming or any special thing. Like if you put a cadet on the middle of the field, they could probably live here if they tried.
Okay.
Depending on the world, of course. Like
Okay.
Similar to Earth? How disappointing.
Okay, so free question to science officer. Is there anything unique hydrologically about the ocean that we are about to crash into?
could you give me some examples? I'm not sure how to answer that because you're more knowledgeable than I am in that.
Okay. Are there any odd like currents to be aware of? Like is the do the currents of these oceans move like quickly, which would, cause us to drift in an odd direction? Is much of it like an ice lock? Do they have a lot of storms?
It would seem that the oceans are fairly turbulent, and there are the place you're about to dive into. Actually, as you're falling through, you find yourself slipping underneath a rather intense storm system, which that
Okay.
seems to be typical of this particular body of water. So this is probably you probably just had the bad luck of finding the most unpleasant body of water to crash into.
Okay.
So it's gonna be
So
rough waters and tons of rain and probably lightning strikes.
yep. So I think we wanted to do a couple things.
Plus, the torpedoes didn't help with that.
10
It's off in the water. I take that back.
2 momentum to get that information to the con so that they can make use of it as quickly and as quickly as possible.
So they have like a live feed of exactly how bad it is, where to go. Yeah, I could take that. Yeah, for 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Are there any settlements on any nearby coastlines that are going to get wiped out when we crash a Scale 4 ship into a body of water?
Yeah, that's a good one. Are there any coastal settlements, or are we crashing too far away from that to even really be a consideration?
I'll take that question, momentum.
Do you even know if there is like population on this planet?
I guess to find out the hard way.
There are, on sensors, there are several settlements that border this particular body of water. But you are so far out in the ocean that your torpedo attack and your kinetic contact with the ocean is not going to be consequential to them. And the fact that the storm is there and this is a pretty rough bit of water, there's no one out here on the water, because if they were, they'd be staying away from it. They would avoid this storm entirely. So so in a way, this storm's kind of helping, in that it's keeping people from being in your way when you crash.
Mm-hmm.
But there are several settlements along opposing coastlines.
GM.
Are they? I have a question. Are they? Because I think we still have one.
No, that was it.
Yeah,
Okay,
you just have your 6 on the table.
Except no. I am going
Generating
to
bonus.
burn. I'm not going to do the one that does that. Here it is. Starfleet Medal of Honor. Generate 2 bonus momentum.
Gotcha.
So 2 more momentum on the board. Do they appear to be particularly advanced settlements?
They seem to be a pre-warp technology, so they're beyond. To us, they'd be considered futuristic, but to you guys, they're pre-warp. So they're high tech, but they're not warp capable by the look of them.
Got it. Okay. That makes things sticky.
Prime
That means they'll probably
directive
know we're here.
Any other questions? Because I do have one more.
I don't have a question, but I have an idea for an advantage. It's an advantage in response to clarification of the environmental system. So there's an intense storm around here. And we are going through the process of re-entry, which generates a lot of heat. If we're going through an intense enough storm, the water around could actually serve as a decent heat sink to peel away some more of that energy of re-entry, potentially lessening the damage to the ship.
You
Two
could
momentum for that.
You could create that advantage, yeah.
Cool.
Because you're pointing, you're letting the pilot know that they have a lot more cushion than they think they have.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm good with that. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I don't have any other questions.
Sounds good. All right. Pend, do you want to have Telora do anything with your action?
I don't think there's much.
Oh, I have an idea. Do you think Talora could send up like a distress buoy as we're crashing to try to get into the orbit of the planet to like let people know we crashed here?
She could, but she wouldn't. We're
Yeah,
here being
Romulan.
pursued.
Yeah.
We're here
Uh,
being
We're
pursued.
being pursued, and also the planet that we are crashing into is probably advanced enough that they would find it.
Oh, that she doesn't care about.
maybe use the navigational deflectors to create an additional crumple zone outside of the physical structure of the ship.
That she could do.
That wouldn't be enough because navigational are incredibly soft. Intentionally, you'd have to drop your sensor silhouette and put out and use your proper shields to do that. Because nav shields are super soft.
And we don't know if we've been detected yet or not.
It's true.
It might
Well,
be
that was
worth
my
just-
suggestion.
Yeah, it might be worth just either leaving it, or the only other suggestion I had was, could she use the comms array to see if anyone from the planet has picked up the fact that something is plummeting from the sky?
Well, she could certainly try.
She could attempt an interception. Yeah. I mean, she's got that really neat
Did the reading?
reading ability, so any task becomes a science task.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's the
I
whole
don't
thing, isn't
care
it?
what methods you use. I'm doing it this way.
I feel like that might be better as a post-crash roll if we're still alive
Yeah,
and all that.
I think for
What
now
she
I'll.
could do is potentially try to mask our re-entry through. I had an idea and I lost it partway through explaining it.
I
hate
think
when
for
that
now
happens.
I'm just gonna say no.
Basically,
All
spoof
right.
signal it, but yeah.
Then I believe I have a con roll in my future GM.
Yep, you're all dead. I was just wasting your time.
Oh,
I mean, she could
After
just
all-
brace. Her role could just be bracing.
no.
So, it's a what now? Yeah. Daring plus con difficulty. Well, you did bring it down. I'll bring it up to where I was going to bring it. 3, 4, 5. But, and I'll type it out. I'll type out the base before I start messing with it. Okay. So, science told them 2 things that helped. Arlen beat the the integrity field, the structural integrity system to crumple. There was a second thing Arlen did.
Retro thrusters.
Thrusters.
There we go. 2. You're down to diff 2.
Look, Mom, I'm
All right.
helping.
Focus in aerial combat. Because you said it would work if we were in the atmosphere.
Yep. There's ways to crash land on water, and there's ways to crash land on water.
Yeah. Determination, spend my wings shield the wounded.
I'll take it, yeah.
And
Because you have some breaches, so you probably have like a few casualties aboard, if nothing else. Pardon me, sorry.
There we go. Secure. I will buy a third
Done.
die with 2 momentum.
I also just realized Telero could just assist with the con roll.
No?
Good, yeah.
Duh. If she hasn't done anything else.
Sure, I'll assist with the con roll then.
And I am rolling 3 dice. Alright, so that is 5 successes.
Sounds made up.
Correct. This entire experience is a exercise in making things up.
The fact she almost hit that, by the way.
Yeah, it's your
Engine con from Captain Tavar.
Yep, that's me. That's me. Engine's gone.
Did you say Akir hit 5?
Akir hit 5.
See, the other problem is Captain Tavara is also not a name I'm used to responding to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Right.
it's like double layers of, oh yeah, that's my name.
I know, yeah, that's the thing I have to do now. Yeah.
That's what's playing.
Cool. So I succeeded on the base task.
That seems like a good thing in this case.
Yeah.
You slam. You start skidding along the ocean. The bottom nacelle catches a lot of the water. The thrusters kind of do everything they can to keep you from your nose just tipping into the water. Because the Freedom classes aren't supposed to land on planets, but you're being forced to. So it's kind of you're basically struggling to keep the saucer's nose up, and so eventually you kind of flatten out and very slowly bring yourself to a stop. And
Can I spend 2 so we don't start sinking?
certainly,
Cool.
as you actively make an effort to keep the ship up and above water, and surprisingly, you don't get you manage to do a belly landing onto a body of water. Well, actually, the first thing was like you fired that torpedo at the water, aerosolized, and then you started bringing yourself to slap down into the water. But yeah, no, that was most ships would not have done very well with that. It would have been you might have lost the nacelle entirely, just literally just sheared it off, and
unfortunately, we only have one of those.
yeah.
And the position of the ship is such that the nacelle will bear the brunt of this impact.
Mm-hmm.
So we've landed.
Use the nacelle as a
We're okay?
hydrofoil.
You have landed.
Damage report.
Reason plus. Oh. Reason plus engineering difficulty of 2. Is that correct? Brain?
Lieutenant Arlen, damage report.
He's AFK, so I'll do it with Katal.
Nope, I got it. I can hear.
Isn't Katal on the other ship?
No. He's in the corner right here.
Oh yeah.
He's in the transporter room still.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I mixed him up with Ramik.
All right, reason, engineering, technical insight, seeing how hurt we are.
Yep.
Fast thinker trait.
No, it doesn't help you in particular here. You're not low
All right.
as far as you're aware.
Lateral thinker to look at things that you wouldn't normally check.
Won't affect difficulty, but I'll give you extra information.
Excellent. And of course, I am reckless.
I can't say you're recklessly asking questions and checking the computer.
All right. Unfortunately, this is not my ship, so I can't know my ship talent.
Yeah, I'll help.
All right. If you have a focus, take 1 solitary threat.
1/3 eye.
engine and systems are damaged. No other or new breaches. Slim sensor silhouette is still in effect.
Good.
What are our shields at? Or did we not take any shield damage?
0. You left your shields
Zero.
off.
Okay.
How long are we sinking or are we buoyant?
We are currently not sinking, Captain.
We are currently buoyant. Okay.
Correct.
Casualties?
One momentum. Can I see how long we're going to stay buoyant, or is that something I'm gonna have to duct tape?
I'll take that as a spend, but you do learn something through lab.
Okay.
Someone's enjoying food.
Mm-hmm. Captain, seems like we hit something in when we hit the water. Something, there's some sort of impact on the ventral side of our saucer, but it has since washed off.
I want a team out there to investigate it immediately.
I believe there's a momentum question being thrown at me as well. I forgot to.
Yeah, how long will we be buoyant, I believe?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
At current power generation, approximately 12 hours. Unless you do something to properly see worthy the ship.
Okay. We have 12 hours afloat out, unless you want me to transform this into a sea vessel, which
He's
I'm
going
not.
to do the Spock eyebrow raise. How could such a thing be possible?
Well, give me enough duct tape, and I'll figure it out.
I feel like the safer option would be to get the crew into lifeboats. Unless you can assure me of your confidence in making this ship a ship.
I'll at least need to do some quick and dirty math for you.
So do we know what we hit?
Yes, Lieutenant Rylov, I would like you to lead a security team to investigate that.
Are our ship sensors inoperable?
Oh, I thought they were.
No. Oh, the only thing that has been hit is we have damage to the engine systems, which I could work on that. Depends on what your priorities are.
No, first, we must assure our safety. Ensign Ven, can you perform a scan of the object we collided with?
Yes, Captain.
Sure. Reason plus science, difficulty 2, assist. computers plus science as you go back through the
And
sensor logs to see.
This has nothing to do with my pre. It doesn't come into play, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Sensor operations focus. I'm just gonna spend a momentum. Wow. Wow.
Oh, you biffed it.
Ship. Computer science, please.
A's at L cars.
Yep.
Hey, people make fun of me for taking a while. Although you never have, so I feel bad picking on you now.
Wow.
You're allowed to pick on me. Starship task roll.
Computer science.
Okay,
we
spending 2 to burn off that complication. Wow. Oh, actually, wait. First things first. Only 1 momentum to burn it off, actually. But the game master gets another threat.
Huzzah.
Garbage. And I don't think I get a free question on this because this wasn't a sensors thing.
Was I not supposed to roll sensors?
It was supposed to be computers. But you rolled a 10, so
Yeah,
it
wouldn't matter.
It would have hit anyway.
Okay.
Oh. Huh. Captain, it would appear that we briefly collided with a small scale arrow shuttle. But that can't be right.
An arrow shuttle? Out of character, like an airplane?
Like a surface to
Oh god, we hit their space shuttle.
Oh, we hit there like Apollo rocket? Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
you hit something a little more advanced than that. Think a 747, but it goes space.
Oh, right. Okay, so like an actual Enterprise space shuttle. Okay.
Yeah.
hit that on the way down.
Okay. Oh, gee. It's not what a Vulcan would say. She's going to say,
Geez, Ven.
yeah, I accidentally got my Vulcan and Morty role play mixed up. Okay, Ensign Ven, perform a casualty scan. Any casualties, beam them to sick bay.
Did we
Yep.
belly flop onto their air Concorde flight?
Oh no, as GM said, a bit more than that. We belly flopped onto their space shuttle program.
Mm-hmm.
Belly flop is an inaccurate term, but I do see your point.
Hey, we landed on the ventral side. I consider that a belly flop.
Oh no. Is that to say complete
They were in an
complete loss?
aluminum tin can. You came at them at way too many kilometers an hour. You're a big old frying pan that slapped them out of the sky.
Yeah, there's no survivors.
And it's like did you take damage? Like, you have resistance. They ping out. They're like so much paint.
Captain, no survivors detected.
Like a DeLorean being hit by a Mack truck.
Yeah, from scanner readings, leading up to the collision, 400 lives lost.
Yeah, she's going to hang her head.
A few of the crew kind of look over at Ven and they're kind of shocked because most Starfleet officers don't necessarily take lives all that often, even by accident. They take great pains not to, and it's one of those, oh crap.
Yeah, Ven also hangs his head low.
which is
Yeah.
hilarious, being a veteran of the Achilles. But
and then he probably feel the emotions coming off of everyone.
No.
actually, you know what, Ven? You know
What?
what's terrible about that? What were you in close contact range with not that long ago for like a few seconds?
Oh no, don't do this to
400
me.
deaths.
Fitness
Right.
plus medicine.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Difficulty
Dump that threat.
of
Dump that threat.
4.
He was simultaneously
I
in contact
already
range
One
had
and crushed
difficulty
him.
per 100. I'm being generous.
I already have 2 traumas.
Yeah, so you should go see the fucking counselor.
It's like 400 lives just suddenly screamed out in terror, suddenly silent. Oh wait, that was our fault.
Starfleet, more than anything, really is just a trauma factory.
I am spending 3 momentum.
That's why I think counselors should have been on those things way sooner. But even Roundberry was like, you know what? Counselors on ships, that makes sense.
We get a momentum back.
No, instead,
remember
McCoy,
reading,
I just had a bar.
Hot damn.
But yeah, no, Ven's able to kind of control. You know, even as a half Betazoid, it's one of those things. You turn down the volume, and you didn't even know you did it. You had to think about it, and even now, it's one of those. Oh, I
It's a
registered
distant
that happened, but you kind of rolled with the hit. But you were aware that you felt those 400 some lives wink out.
Oh.
If there's any consolation, if there's anything, this is why you probably could have some momentum. They never knew what hit them. It was 1 minute they were flying, next minute nothingness.
I mean, that's a small mercy.
This is
They
a
didn't go-
terrible first contact.
You
Well-
could say it was a bit hard.
Ugh.
Out of character
Mhm.
A
question.
little sudden.
Out
Yeah.
of character question. Do we know if this species is warp capable or not?
We know they're not.
Okay. Okay.
Pre-warp.
Because pre-warp can still move inside their own solar system. They just can't go to FT. They can't go FTL.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We've been to the moon and we're pre-warp. Ensign Ven, I need you to begin working on a way to communicate with the owners of that ship. We need to explain to them what happened and settle this in a peaceful manner. Lieutenant
I
Arlen?
assume the prime directive's out the window then? Yeah, we
You could.
like he answering his own question, yeah, we kind of broke the prime directive.
Could I throw something at you?
You can always throw something at me.
Dunk.
So
Wham.
all they're going to know is that there was a flight in a turbulent part of the ocean with storms that was there, then not there.
Let me clarify for something there, actually. They were in space. That's why you guys never registered right away, because you popped up on top of this planet and then slapped them out of the air.
Okay.
And that's why you started falling through the atmosphere. It was because your senses would barely register it happened.
Okay. I thought they were still within atmosphere, and that's where I was going, like, it was in somewhere turbulent, you can just...
Plausible
Not into-
deniability.
Yeah. You know you've done it, you get in the ding, but you don't need to, like, completely fuck with the Prime Directive. If they were in space and recording that, yeah, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
One point to mention is that we are still likely being hunted. And if we send a signal that can in any way be intercepted, Klingons do not necessarily have a great track record when it comes to not indiscriminately bombing a planet.
I'm aware of the risks, Lieutenant Rylov, but I will not start a war with this planet if such an incident could be prevented. Then I need you to find a way to communicate with them. Lieutenant Arlen, if at all possible, this ship needs to stay afloat. To put the crew in lifeboats at this point would pose an undue risk to them. anything in your power to keep the ship afloat. Lieutenant Rylov, it is entirely possible that we have been followed, or that retribution from the planet will come upon this ship. You need to put shields up and do your best to ensure our safety. Does anyone object to their
Okay.
tasks?
I would rather not put up shields until we know about an imminent threat to us.
If that's what you would prefer, then begin scanning for threats.
I will coordinate with the sub-lieutenant for such matters. Unless she has to be removed from the bridge.
I didn't choose to come here. You beamed me here.
Lieutenant Tavara is going to raise an eyebrow and say, "Do not worry about such matters at this time."
Which is more, she's a scientist and Finn's got a task. It was like the reasoning for that. I was like, Sense is science. I'm not going to touch that. You don't want Rylov touching science. He is like a flat 10 on most of those rolls.
Oh, could we beam up the remnants of the shuttle?
The bits of aluminum and silicone that are floating in the ocean? Could.
I mean, the reason why I ask is we can then get a more direct scan of their technology, how it functions, and how to communicate.
I don't think there's technology left. I think we atomized most of it.
Look, it's an idea.
No, I focuses in cultural anthropology and stuff, so my thought for my own role would be to try to study this planet's culture to get to know who they are.
And as everyone busies themselves to prepare for this rather unfortunate first contact, we cut to the Achilles. New scene.
Oh. Unfortunate.
Control plus con difficulty of 4, assisted by engines plus con to. Actually, it'd be control or reason, arguably, because you're trying to navigate through the anomaly without getting lost. It was going to be to 5, but you fired a probe in here, so which you can, if nothing else, you can tell where the probe is. So you're kind of using it as a dummy navigation buoy. It's there. So how far is it from us? How long does a ping take to get to us? Okay, that means it's this many light years away.
I think this was Rylov as just written.
Yes. Give me a second. The hell is that? There it is. Helm control.
Helm control, yes.
That's under. We'll do a value for I can. I trust my captain's orders, just so we're not giving you a ton more threat.
Yep, you can do that.
Now, knowing what I know about Tisha Shrew, that's a very funny value.
I mean, she just trusts his orders.
Most of the time. Yeah.
And the ship will also crit due to the...
Okay, so yeah,
7.
that's yeah. I made it.
You warp into the anomaly, checking back on the probe. Eventually, you lose contact with the probe. The moment you lose contact, you're in open space again. And I will say open space, and I'll highlight that there's no Shackleton anomaly here.
Oh, neat.
It's just it's clear space.
Hmm.
I don't under, has the anomaly teleported us?
I would assume a sensor sweep would tell us if there is further Shackleton features in the vicinity, or if this is just a clear pocket, or if this is just a clear pocket.
Yeah, sensors pick a scan up of what's just happened, and if we can pick up the wildfire's signal.
Reason plus science, difficulty 5, assisted by sensors plus science. This high difficulty is covering the fact you're doing as far as your sensors, searching every nook and cranny. And also, we know in the meta that this thing's buried on a planet somewhere, so it's going to be hard to spot. But if you succeed, but you can succeed at cost. If you biff this, you will learn something. You just won't learn necessarily where the wildfire is.
Yeah, I think I'll direct the ensign, so then. Okay, well, here's the ship anyway.
Ensign, are you there?
Well, okay then.
That's not me, Ensign.
No, we're talking about Ven.
Oh, I'm Lieutenant anyway. Never mind.
We can demote you if you wish.
I mean, you can demote for sure. Sure.
I'll quickly grab Rymet then and...
Sounds good.
Investigative techniques.
Yep.
Dedicated focus for investigative techniques. Would basically just generate a bonus momentum, so that's not really applicable yet. Does visual spectrum kick in?
Hold on. Oh, he's in a frozen. No, that's his actual.
Okay, well, seems like it could be something cool, but yeah.
It's a great away mission thing because they basically have like a Geordie like special sight. Because they can see into the infrared and ultraviolet, so Frosians have a fun time looking at stuff.
Oh, are you back now?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm rocking at 5.
Yeah, so you've already got investigative techniques, and the ship's already hit a crit.
Yep. That's what I'm. Oh, I just realized. Investigative techniques is a dedicated focus. This is for talent. 1 threat to momentum for 4 die.
Roger.
And that's so the diff 5 is before the diff decrease.
It's before decrease, yeah.
Okay, so it's diff 4 then. Okay. I'll reroll 1 just for the lulz.
Okay.
That's 4 hits.
And I roll
and I
my
have
assist.
Yeah, it's whatever.
So that's 6 on the diff 4, so we're getting 2.
You are going to detect some things.
Yay! Detecting things is my favorite thing to do.
It's almost as if you are a detective.
Ho ho ho!
I know, I'm so funny.
I don't know about that.
I think you're funny, Captain.
Well, the GM just thinks I'm funny looking, so it's an improvement.
Let's see what this says. Captain, I'm detecting signs of a spacefaring civilization. In this 8-planet system, 3 appear to be inhabited. A number of space stations and Lagrange points above the 3 inhabited planets. Number of small craft moving about. Number of probes. Asteroid field. Separating inner and outer systems. It would appear that the wildfire has crash landed on the 3rd planet from the star.
Is this a pre or post warp civilization?
Do I have to spend to determine that it's pre-warp, or
Yeah,
is that
you would.
indicative? Okay. Okay. I will spend a momentum to determine that. It would appear to be pre-warp, sir. The entire system is in a pocket surrounded by the anomaly. Wait. Wait a second. I have a really weird question based on this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spend my momentum, and I'm gonna send this question to you in DMs.
Sure.
Oh, fucker.
Well, we just found an
Language.
alternate solar system.
Captain, it would appear that this system is a perfect one-for-one match of the Sol system.
Some sort of parallel Earth.
God damn it.
Are we able to pick up on their communications to see what the current situation is?
Thorlick, would
I
you like
can-
an ESP ping? Thorlick's BRB, never mind. Continue.
Yes, I was just getting back. Had to finish swallowing some food. Yes, I would like an ESP ping.
No, it's too late.
This was a video game QuickTime event. You didn't press the unmute button fast enough, and now we lost this information.
No, it's one of those quick time events where even if you fail it, you're still going to succeed.
So every QuickTime event?
Pretty much. We have to have a cool cinematic button press. That means absolutely nothing to the plot.
The fuck does that mean?
I love ESP. It is hell. It is. Oh, never mind. Huh?
Is it?
Wait a second. Hang on. You had to step away. So, did you hear what I found out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Because...
So yeah, well, the question, the order's still on the table. Can we pick up on their comms?
I don't feel that I've gained any knowledge here.
It's always fun when that happens, when you ask a question and you get an answer that goes, I'm in the exact same fucking place I was.
Oh, I hate this.
Out of character, I'll share this. Cause fuck. Like, okay, I
And
get a little bit here.
There is a
The
door.
Stargate!
Big as a starship. Deep where it is dark, carved from ice, beckoning the end.
It's a
Listen,
Stargate.
and it's just indicating
big as
that-
a starship.
End is just indicating that's the end of information. I've been doing that for people so they know I'm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want that to be part of the
Not-
message. My bad.
Yeah, the end is not being beckoned to us. Okay.
And
Um.
I'll move that.
Okay. My thought is dimensional gateway or wormhole or something similar. Deep where it is dark, carved from ice, makes me think it's like in the deep sea, in like the Arctic Ocean of this planet or something like that.
I feel like that's too literal.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I'm a very literal person, so maybe I'm right.
Fair enough.
Deep where it is dark, carved from ice. Oh, could deeper this dark could refer to the system as a whole because it is the dark spot in this phenomenon.
Phenomenal.
Both of you. Get out.
Does Threlix share that with the class?
So yes, I think. GM, do I literally get those words or do I get like those as images?
Images.
Images. Okay.
A feeling, a memory. Half forgotten.
So yeah, as Remek is doing scans, Darlik's gonna kind of like antenna are gonna curl up and just gonna close her eyes and be like, I'm seeing a large portal or door of some kind. Darkness. Very, very darkness. The ice, but it's not the ice of home. It's inviting. And this is all kind of like, it's kind of low, so probably only Shashir and Hen are hearing this, but you know, other people could be. She's not getting the attention of the bridge. She's not using her command voice.
Is that something we could do, like a reason roll?
I feel like it'd probably be more insight.
Depends on the person.
If you tell Asa, Asa would meditate with you to try to help you find the answer, for all that's worth.
There are two things you would. Well, one of three things you would need to do to get more information off the basis of that, because it's an ESP. One is to ask more ESP questions, but you're going to get vagaries, for sure. Two, you gather more data to find something that fits this, or you induce a meditative state that isn't ESP in particular, but it's another way to, like a Vulcan meditation or a Bajoran meditation, to kind of explore that memory more thoroughly.
Excuse
at
you, I'd be
present-
going into an Anar meditative state?
Anar saying, well, hey, if you know Anar rituals, go for it.
Yeah, specifically I do.
Oh yeah, that's right. You trained.
Commander, do you wish to excuse yourself?
That almost sounds like a. Do you want to relieve yourself of duty? Would you like a lie down, maybe?
Do you need to go to med bay, Commander? Yeah.
No.
Little Exo needs their nappy poo.
Look, at this stage, Pend knows that Thralic has these moments of ESP, so it's like, do you need to excuse yourself for a moment to dig deeper?
Yeah.
No. Thralic is going to stand up and, to those who read Andorian body language on the bridge, is very, like, discombobulated.
Discombobulated.
Yeah. He's going to step over to Penn and say, I'm going to head down to Med Bay and speak with Counselor Asa.
Understood. I'll try and gain some more conventional information.
So she's sure kind of. She goes, Commander?
Yes, Lieutenant.
She's not. Oh, she is aboard. Never mind. For some reason I thought she wasn't. I had this weird feeling she was somewhere else. Never mind.
Lieutenant, would you like to excuse yourself as well?
You know what? I think so. Actually, I'm feeling kind of a little lightheaded.
Sure. Why not?
Oh, she's gonna go the same way you are, because you're both going down to Med Bay. A flight person comes over to take the seat. I mean, yes, it's weird controls, but they just have to live with that.
Okay, let's try and get into their comms, or try and get some more detailed scans of that system. We need to know what happened. So I think that might be a... screw it, I'll do it. I'm going to head over to Exo's console. Might as well, because I can.
It's a very sad day for Pend. Every single person has left the bridge. He's got
Your chair has a computer console on it.
Fuck it, I'll go back to my chair then. I was trying to interact with my crew. Fuck yeah.
Hey, look, if you want to sit in the less comfy chair, that's up to you. Saying command chairs come with little computers for a reason.
Wait, you think Penn made his chair comfy?
No, someone else did, and he's really mad about it.
Yeah, Penn likes his chair uncomfy because when he leaves, someone else has to sit in the uncomfy chair.
Actually, that seems to be in line with the aesthetic.
Yeah, but you have to consider this is other universe Pend. So unless you change the chair out, other universe Pend actually has more padding than a normal Kismet, normal Achilles class.
We look at this thing. It's leather covered, has like wooden varnish arms, little computer on it.
Penn just shudders every time he sits down and it's like...
What? It's retro.
Lead by example. I'm doing this myself.
What are you doing?
I'm going into the comms.
Okay.
Master strategist is the trait.
I wouldn't say so. No.
Would you take quantum specialist in case there's some...
You're giving way too much credit to these people. They do not. Their tech's not nearly that good.
Look, they're the only ones I could throw out, so...
I know. I was just thinking the hilarious. And by the way, they have quantum entanglement communicators. Like, what? That is so beyond what they should have.
If you would have said yes, though, that would have been a... Okay.
Yeah, like, okay, that shouldn't have worked.
I'll spend the momentum.
See, if quantum fired, it would mean this is actually a civilization of nanites who are impersonating an early human civilization.
Oh, man.
You've missed...
Future
You've dropped
idea.
one, then.
I love doing things with nanites. I haven't done nanite
And the
stuff.
ship is...
Maybe heaven isn't at the center of the solar system, but it's right here, and this planet is actually made up of the souls of everyone who's died on Earth.
Good God. That's intense.
Why are they only this technologically advanced then?
Well,
Deus Volt.
Use Vault.
Wait, I'm picking up 2 words constantly repeated on the comms.
So what you actually hear is there is a ton of radio and laser transceiver communications between variety of polities, and ships and small craft. There's communications happening on the planets, on the stations. The big takeaways beyond just the chatter is they are aware of an unknown spaceship has crashed onto Earth. There is various people trying. Normally, I would say there's like encryption and stuff, but your tech's too high. They can't encrypt past your computer can casually brush that aside. They can't encrypt nearly as fast as your computer can decrypt. They seem to be the people of Earth seem to be blaming the other planets, or the space colonies. They're saying that this is a false. The others are basically communicating among themselves. Who was it? Was it you? Was it you? No, us. That's not ours. Looks like a warship to me. Who was hiding this? Then there's various communications of people mobilizing their militaries to prepare for something, because there's a lot of confusion across all channels. They don't know what this thing is. Whatever it is, they've never seen anything like it. And even the casual scan you got off from Rymek, it's one of those, they don't have anything scale 4. Like scale 4 is a space station to them. You have a faster than light space station that just appeared in front of them. They don't seem to have said anything about you, about the Achilles, or anything like it. Yeah, there may be more, but you'd have to focus. But that's the general chatter you over that, because they're not really. The only transmissions that you're having trouble with are the laser transmissions. So top secret, confidential, like actual where stuff is moving. That's how they get around. They just flashlight another place. And it's like the only way to intercept that is to be in the way and catch it, and literally physically catch the beam and translate it. But radio transmissions, they're beaming out. So it's like their only way to get around that is to encrypt the transmission or work on certain frequencies. But you work on subspace frequencies. Radio frequencies are a joke to you.
Is it possible to spend my Medal of Honor to create 2 bonus to create an advantage if we picked up a bit more?
You can ask questions and I can answer them.
Okay.
Because you could listen to the chatter, try to see if there's anything. You might listen to a particular thing and go, I'm going to listen to this guy for a while and figure out what they mentioned this keyword. I'm going to listen to them for a bit.
Does the communications we've picked up specify only a singular vessel?
I'll take that momentum. Yes. It's big as a colony. Who could possibly build such a monstrosity?
Does it mention what's being done with the ship? Do they know what the current state of it is, basically?
Is that a momentum spend?
Yeah, well, it's a question. I'll spend.
On the over radio, there is people know it landed somewhere on Earth in the Pacific Ocean. Everyone is saying stuff that they might do, or saber rattling at each other what they might do. We'll invade Earth. You better not. Well, if you do, I'll invade you. Lots of that sort of talk. So there's a lot of posturing over the comms. What precisely is being done on Earth? You would have to be closer to Earth to get that, because that wouldn't be transmissions going out to space. That'd be people talking to each other on Earth. So their radio signal wouldn't get to you quite as quickly.
Another question I would have is, depending on where it could have been said from whatever source, has there been any recorded casualties? Or because it's like a crash.
I'll take a momentum for that. The passenger aero shuttle Lodestar has been destroyed by this warship, with over 400 civilians lost, along with political VIPs. So that kind of tips why everyone's. I mean, on the one hand, people are kind of upset because it's a big old ship that came out of nowhere, but it's also a bunch of very important people died. So now it's seen as an attack. There's whispers that this was an attack, but others see some are wondering if it was an accident, at which point they say, well, if it was an accident, then what negligent moron tested an experimental battleship near a thickly populated airspace? But that's the only casualties. It's just the people.
I don't think
this thing just rammed right into it and just obliterated the thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've got any more questions personally. Is anyone else?
I've
Are
got
they
one.
mentioning? Are they mentioning in use of any particular air weaponry? Like, are they talking about using nuclear or something even more scary? Get an idea of what kind of escalation and tech level we're dealing with.
Could ask that.
Sure, I'll spend. If it's a question you'll take spend for, go for it.
They seem to be threatening when they're talking about stuff. It takes a bit of listening because people, to them, they wouldn't specify exactly what they would use the name, the technical name for it that they would use. But eventually, if you just listen long enough, you figure out what they mean. Eventually, you pick it apart. They seem to have free electron lasers on their shuttles, on their military shuttles. Their military cruisers are scale 2 and have big old cannon and spinal lance type stuff on their shuttles. To you, they'd be small craft. To them, it's a proper starship. They also have, although that seems to be the minority of their strength, the majority of their strength is in a massive squadrons of small craft, single person craft, or pods, that are also armed with free electron lasers. Some seem to indicate that they have ionic energy weapons, which that's fairly advanced. It's 22nd century versus 21st. As for the kind of warheads they're throwing around, nuclear is being thrown. I think nuclear is as good as they can get because the next step is a little too far for them. Yeah, for missiles are popular.
Okay.
But that seems to be the big. Well, I can't give you that information. There's only so far I can go.
I think Thrall had a question.
Yeah. With the obvious exception of the wildfire incident, does this tech level and layout of the Sol system correspond to any point in history?
Yeah,
I'll take that
that
point.
was something I was gonna ask. Is like, how closely does this political situation line up with the actual history of?
Yeah.
It doesn't line up properly.
I was going to
Mar-
say their technology is beyond our own. Excuse me.
They are if they're anywhere near the 21st, 22nd century Earth era, that's still like people are just getting to the moon stage. Like the Third World War is happening for at this point, or it's happening at this point or recovering from it. So really, Earth should be
Right.
balkanized like crazy. It should be damaged to high heaven. There should be very tiny colonies on Luna and on Mars. But this
So, like, you
place seems
don't
to have,
have.
whereas they have like
Yeah.
full cities on Mars, on over in the clouds of Venus, various space stations dotted around each of those 3 planets.
Okay.
So that doesn't line up properly with any period. It doesn't line up with 22nd century Earth or 21st century Earth. That's a better way to put it for this verse, for Star Trek verse.
Okay. I think that's probably okay for now from my role.
And as a bit of a bookkeeping thing, I will say that this is stuff that the as well, because I imagine the wildfire exact same thing you guys are doing it, listening to radio and figuring out. The only difference is the wildfire gets its own unique questions it can ask because it's actually on Earth, so it can actually hear what Earth's talking about.
I assume this would be a free question, but this is clearly Prime Directive's already gone out the fucking window.
I will say insight plus command difficulty 1. There's something I can clarify, but that's something your character might have forgotten.
I'm not sure. Spend a determination on Prime Directive.
Yeah.
Considering I'm literally asking about it.
How screwed are we? Let me think.
Focus in mental prowess. I'm going through all this quickly.
Yeah, plus the Prime Directive is a very complicated directive. Lots of case study you'd have to memorize as so it's actually kind of difficult for most captains to just know every facet of it off the top of their head, beyond just the obvious reciting the rule.
I'm going to spend the medal and roll 2 challenge dice because I'm a petty little bitch.
You said it, not me.
You get to. At least I'm honest about it. And I'll reroll. So that's 8 hits.
So the Prime Directive is one of those things where you can violate it in degrees, in the sense that once you violate it, willingly or not, if you violate at all, a captain has to answer before a board why they did that. But you ideally minimize the impact as much as possible is the intent. The exceptions to it is if the civilization was just straight up already aware the Federation existed. If they know the Federation exists, it doesn't matter. They know they're in on it. If they communicate with or attack a Federation vessel, now the Prime Directive falls out the window because now we have to preserve the lives of the people there, or that they're talking to anyway, so you might as well just talk to them. or if someone else had already introduced into the galactic universe and all that's going on, and it's like cat's out of the bag. Prime directive doesn't matter. They already know. Or you have a direct order from someone on high. So right now, technically, one of your ships accidentally attacked them. And that's where until someone starts shooting at each other or they start to you, the prime directive the exception doesn't apply. So you're still at the point of minimize impact. Or you just say, screw it, we're gonna choose to violate it because we think it's the better call. But you don't have a free card at the moment until they start shooting. Or they initiate contact. They initiate contact with you and you couldn't avoid them. Well, it's too late now. But this is bad. This is the captain of the Wildfire. They're gonna have to explain why that happened.
I've got a question with the float. If you want to take it, would it be a prime directive violation, considering we know the tech level we're dealing with, and essentially we're very quite aware of the system layout? If we did a communications blackout, like we knocked out their eyes,
you would be interfering with,
like not destroy, like flashbang essentially.
If you felt that was the only way you could achieve the objective of lessening impact, so lesser evil to prevent a greater evil. So it'll depend on how your reputation roll goes.
Okay. Because
it's where that is. It's one of those I wouldn't ding you for, but it's one of those like we'd have a perfectly good reason why you'd get dinged. Like why all of a sudden you got reprimanded. It's like, oh, okay, you actually violated some sub directive that you forgot about. It's like, oh crap. Well, that happens.
Yeah, because I was thinking along the lines of, obviously if we just flew straight in there, that's not going to help the situation. But if we temporarily blinded them, we could try to recover the wildfire and just fucking leave.
Well, I will point out you could flood their. Sorry. I will have to ask for another roll because I shouldn't be giving free information. Insight plus engineering, difficulty of 2, assisted by computer.
I'm the engineer at the moment. I mean, unless someone else wants to grab an NPC engineer, but don't think we've got any. Unless we've got Zeph back.
No, he's been on Rendra for.
Yeah, then we have no NPC engineers, so that's mean. Focus in mental prowess again.
I'll take it. Given the magnitude of what you're trying to do.
Would you take Master Strategist, considering I'm trying to do the least amount of contamination effectively?
So diff 1?
Yeah. And I'll spend a momentum. Oh, we got it back. Oh, on the ship.
Typical captain, not remembering to roll your ship.
Yeah, sorry, I was rolling for me and the ship, so I was just getting.
So you could flood the radio waves and deafen them. And you could throw up radar chaff and maybe some lidar chaff. But you can't visually hide your ship. They can see. They do have like people looking out cockpits and telescopes and stuff like that, so they could see you moving around. And laser transmissions you won't be able to block. That's kind of their benefit. They're really, you would have to block laser transmissions, you'd have to flood the entire system with some sort of gas to make the lasers just completely deafened. But you'd have to do it to like the entire inner system. Doing it to the subspace, due to the radio, that's fine. You just blast the radio signal with garbage, and you just deafen anyone with the radio. But Mark 1 eyeballs or Mark 2 enhanced eyeballs, as in cameras, laser transceivers. So you could deafen them to a point. You could make them less effective as a organization, but you wouldn't be invisible. There's just too much stuff moving around, too many ships moving around.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions you'd like to ask?
I do not have anything specific.
Not so much a question, but maybe a dumb idea.
An
Maybe we could
advantage
do-
dumb idea or an actual like roll dumb idea?
Might be advantage. Could we do a misinformation campaign and throw some false data on the radio waves to throw them off course to buy some time?
For momentum, I can answer that. You have the radio channels, so you could spoof radio transmissions and pretend to be certain things. It would take a bit of signals intelligence for your ship to pull that off, and it'd have to be like it'd be a pretty intense task because you're trying to fool 3 planets, essentially 4 different planets worth of signals intelligence that something's off. Which would slow them down. It wouldn't be perfect again because you can't intervene into the laser transmissions, but the radio transmissions you totally could. You could do a misinformation campaign on certain radio channels and pretend to be certain things.
Okay.
I feel like that might run a high chance of interfering if it's found out, because that's fairly hostile action.
Yeah. Looks like, I
Like
think
diplomatically, that's
Yeah, diplomatically, that's problematic, but it's something we could do, but I'm not sure if we could ethically do it.
I think for now that's it. I've kind of got 2 backup plans, like which would be one the whole flashbang distract and rescue, the other being basically just going into the system and trying to communicate. But until we exhaust other options, I'm going to let other people come up with shit.
it might be worth trying to get a subspace communication to the wildfire. Like, send in the we have the scout ship, which we could send in,
Yeah, we technically do.
because that has a slim sensor silhouette and high resolution sensors. This is literally what it's made for. So that would be my suggestion, and it probably will be my suggestion once Frolic is back on the bridge.
Yeah.
I think we'll move to the next and final down in Midbay. Sister and Frolic come to check in.
Dun dun dun.
This can't possibly end poorly.
Good day, Commander, Lieutenant. How can I help you?
I'll nod to Shashir to go first.
I'm just feeling a bit lightheaded. It came when we warped into the system, so just wanted to get that checked out, make sure there's nothing wrong. Okay. We can have you seated in exam room 1, and we'll have a get you. Okay. We'll take long. We'll do it as fast as we can. We've been prepared for something happening, so shouldn't take too long. Commander. Oh.
Might be related, probably not. But I need to speak to Commander Aza. I received a psionic vision, I believe, as we entered system.
They
I'd like
tap
to speak
something
with
on
counselor.
They tap something on the console. Counselor Asa, Commander Thorlick would like to see you at front desk.
Oh, right away.
Because you're kind of in the middle of
Yeah, Asa
coordinating the
will-
various medical stuff you were doing.
Well, okay. Is there a role I should make beforehand? Am I legitimately too busy to meet with them?
Nah, you've had days to work on that. You're just kind of you just
Okay.
happen to be in there.
Yeah, she's in the middle of typing up a response to, some, logistics question, and she's just gonna, leave the message half written and walk out. Commander Thwalick, how may I be of service?
Counselor, I'd like to go over a vision that I received just previously up on the bridge.
Yeah,
Feel
you see like her eyes like light up and she smiles. Oh, I would love to help you with this.
Thank you, Counselor.
Please follow me to my office. And she's just going to start asking you questions as you walk into the office, like, how long ago did this happen? Can you describe what happened? Have you received visions like this before? All of these questions. And then
Yeah.
I want to collate all of the data I get from asking her those questions to try to make a meditative environment where we can re-experience the vision in more detail.
Yeah, it's called turn the temperature right and fuck down.
Funny enough, you have a particular talent that exactly lines up with what we're going for here. And it's my favorite counselor only ability. I just have to pull up the words.
Oh, positive reinforcement?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what that helps with.
I have
Well,
the
no,
wording right here.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah, it's at the bottom of my
Nice.
sheet.
Was it? Oh, okay. I didn't see it. Where? Bottom of the. Oh, it's over here. It's in your bio
and
info.
info.
I understand. I'm smart. So presence medicine difficulty 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay, focus and meditation.
Yes.
Okay. Do Asa and Tavara have separate determination pools, right?
Yes.
All right. I have the trait moral guide.
I wouldn't take it yet.
It's not really a moral quandary yet. Okay.
Yet.
Yeah. You have 30 threat, and I would rather you not use this opportunity to kill Thralic in a vision. So Diff 3. I'm rocking a 14 with a focus. Hold on, let me turn the music up.
He's playing his psionic music.
This is gonna be great.
Bad things happen when we play the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not playing
Okay.
the boss music, so you're not completely screwed.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You know what? We have 6 momentum. No, we have 5 momentum. I will spend 3 momentum and roll 4 dice. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, in my head, I don't know what Einar ceremonies look like, but I'm definitely picturing like a lot of incense and candles being lit as we lay on prayer mats or something.
Hmm. You know, I think there's a like ritualistic covering of the eyes that are already blind,
Mhm.
which works a little less for Thrall because she's not blind, but
Well, not physically.
And what are you trying to learn from the vision? Because insight plus something. I'm just trying to figure out what that something is.
what are we trying to learn from the vision?
Maybe extend it, get a clearer view.
I was going to say there is a door big as a starship, deep where it is dark, carved from ice, beckoning. I would say, in my head, the most valuable thing is if the door is meant to be like a location of some kind, where is the door?
Where's the door? Who's beckoning? All these things seem.
Who's on first? What's on second?
So yeah,
Yeah, it is up to you.
I guess. I'm trying to think of something that isn't like horribly vague. Let's try and get more clarity on like this image of the door. What that means. Insight con diff 5.
And computers plus medicine to assist because you're in the med bay in the counselor's office trying. Yeah, this is if you're gonna do this anywhere. This is one of the few places it's a good idea to do it.
All right.
That's the closest thing we have to a chapel. And so you have an advantage, and in addition to the from positive reinforcement, and in addition to the normal effects of an advantage, you can re-roll your dice pool once this session, as if you had
All
spent
right.
a determination.
Ooh.
And if that reroll fails, the advantage poofs.
Okay. That's
So
an
the
addition
diff
to
falls down to 4 because you have
Yeah.
positive reinforcement.
Focus in team dynamics here.
Okay, I follow you. Yeah.
Trait calm in the storm.
I wouldn't take that here.
All right. ESP is making this possible. Those don't work. Not that one. Not that one either. Let's see. Do I have mission directive here?
I would do, because this is kind of related to the wildfire. Got it when we entered the system looking for him.
GM, would you take that?
Not at this stage, no, because you
Okay.
don't know if this is directly tied to the wildfire or not.
Okay. Would you take Directive 2, venture once more into the unknown Shackleton Expanse?
Yeah, that would fire.
All right.
That's an Achilles directive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Seek out new life forms, new civilizations.
Well, that's what those 4 directives are. There, that's your
Yeah.
your blurb.
Those are our... Exactly. So I will spend a determination on that. Insight con. Do I have anything else I need to use for this? I love how whenever I'm making a roll for myself, I just skip past my first 4 talents and like.
Oh, look at all these things that could help me. Clearly, I don't need them.
Exactly.
Womp womp.
No, nothing that helps me in this roll. All right, so I have 2 hits. I will spend 2 momentum for a 3rd die here, and I'm rolling 3. Oops. Wrong name, right stats.
The ship also hit, so you're at 3 of 4.
All right. And then, is Aza assisting here?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you've still got the positive reinforcement reroll as well.
Yes, I do. But I want to see if I need to use it or not. Okay, I do. So I will use that positive reinforcement reroll to reroll 3 dice. Okay. That one. I made it, and we generated 1.
You focus on the door and the vision over and over, and you realize that it isn't that it is made of ice or carved of ice. That was just an Endorian presumption.
Yeah.
It has ice growing on it, but what the ice is growing on is something that looks akin to resin. Fairly smooth but uneven. And the color that's beyond the ice. The ice has its own color, and there's like a million words for the various colors that Endorians see in ice because they can tell the difference. But that resin door that's hidden beneath the ice almost seems like almost a pale but benighted white. Like if something was very, very white and pale, but in a very, very dark place. Almost paler than bone, if you get what I'm going for there. Wherever this is, it's very, very cold. Because you can see the twinkles of frost falling from somewhere. And you see near the door, it's near an underground body of water. You can see some ice flows moving around. There's an intense wind blowing things around. But above the door, you can see stars. But it's an incredibly dark night sky. It's almost impossibly dark. Like it's almost like the stars aren't properly lighting the space between them.
Right. Interesting. I'll be like, relating this in that trance-like state to Aza as well. Obviously.
Hazel is not going to reply yet because she doesn't want
Yeah.
to like interfere with the purity of your vision.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to try and like focus on. Actually, let's see. I have a con of 3. When I look at these stars, are they at all familiar?
Lucy?
It's a lot of threat.
Oh.
Thralic begins. You get Aza. From your perspective, you see Thralic actually tilt her head up to look up,
Mm-hmm.
and in the vision from Thralic's point of view, you actually are shifting the camera up to look up from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And when you stare up, you're almost. It's like you're seeing starlight through a veil. Very muted, but due to the intensity of starlight, and wherever it's peering through, it must be incredibly, incredibly dark. So the stars are still just barely visible. And they are the stars of somewhere on Earth. You would have been on Earth for the Academy, so you would have heard, and that would have been a rather common exercise of, hey, let's do some good old fashioned star mapping. Like, okay, so every graduate gets very familiar with Earth starring. And for a brief second, you stare and you find yourself to look for your star, for your home. Like, can you see it in that sky? Because it is possible if you know your stars. It'd be fairly dim because Andor's very far away. But you go, yeah, it's that particular faint flickering over that way. And you stare at it. You stare at it. You stare at it. Aza, Thralic has stopped talking. She is sitting perfectly still. And then you notice her temperature is dropping rapidly and her heart's slowing down. And she suddenly just slumps into the chair.
Well, that's not cool.
Oh
Oh,
no.
that's
Oh dear. When she like slumps into the chair, I would like to quickly grab my medical tricorder and do a scan on her.
You rush over to scan. And as this is happening, out in the open water, the wildfire sensor detects a fleet of ships closing on its position. And the sky is darkened with so many pods rushing to where the wildfire bobs and sways in the ocean. And that will be the end of the episode.